Welcome, everyone, to Sportsman's Park. Time for Hobbs Eagle Baseball. Live on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty Friend here with you this afternoon. It's the second matchups of the season. Hobbs and Clovis, first game of the doubleheader. One tonight, and then they'll also have one on Friday in Clovis. Of course, Hobbs coming in with a 1-1 district record, splitting with Roswell, and Clovis losing two to Carlsbad. So they are 0-2 currently in the district. Right now, Carlsbad, the undefeated team, at 2-0. And going back to the last game for the Hobbs Eagles, unfortunately losing a heartbreaker in that contest, 13-11. That was the game here at Sportsman's Park. In fact, in the game itself, it was a pretty close one. The end of the second inning, Hobbs was up 6-5. Roswell took the lead at the end of the fourth, 8-6. Roswell took a 5-run lead as they scored a total of 5 runs in that fifth inning, and it was 11-6 at that point. By the end of the fifth, it was tied at 11 as Hobbs got 5 runs in the bottom of the fifth. Final scoring of the game, 2 runs in the seventh for the Roswell Coyotes to pick up that victory, and the series was evened at 1-1. In terms of the hits in the game, 13 for Roswell and 10 for the Hobbs Eagles, so they got 3 more. But the big difference in the game was the home runs. Roswell able to knock it over the fence 6 times. Elias Lujan had 3 of those. Joaquin Balanos with 2, and Dominguez had 1. So lots of guys going over the yard there. Hobbs did manage to get 2 home runs themselves, including Tristan Montez and Cope Greben. So they had some guys that yanked it over the wall as well. Wind was kind of helping out some of those balls, too, in that ball game. So that gave Roswell a chance to get those final 2 runs and put the W in the books. Both teams had 2 errors apiece, and they combined again for 23 hits in the contest. Eagles hit .313 in that second game, 10 of 32. Roswell was 13 of 35 for .371, so good numbers there for them to get the W. In that series, of course, they played twice last week. Roswell batted .353. They had 24 total hits in the 2 games out of 68 at-bats. Your Hobbs Eagles had 19 hits out of 66 at-bats for a .288 batting average. So they did have 5 less hits than Roswell as the Coyotes did wrap up the series. In that second game, a couple of guys getting multiple hits for the Eagles. Carson Phillips went 2 for 4. He ended up with an RBI, so definitely helping out the cause in that contest. He had a double to get the RBI for the Eagles. It was also Tristan Montez who hit a homer. He had a couple of hits, a single on top of that, plus a couple of runs scored, and 4 RBIs in the ball game, so definitely cranking the bat well. Cope Greben, we mentioned the other guy with the homer. He went 2 for 3 at the plate, including 3 RBIs. So those are your multiple hitters for the Eagles. And unfortunately, again, the loss in that contest. Roswell goes to 1-1 with the split with Hobbs. So we kind of got a log jam like we had last year. Last year, the Carlsbad Cavemen finished up 6-0 in district, went to the playoffs. Of course, the 3 other teams kind of split with each other, went 2-4, Roswell, Clovis, and, of course, the other team, Roswell and Hobbs. So those 3 teams did not make the playoffs, so they're trying to turn around their fortune this season. This will be the first game of the 2 games we're playing this week. Hobbs will be in Clovis again on Friday, 4:45 pregame, first pitch at 5 o'clock. Now, there's been 4 different ball clubs these 2 teams have played. Both the teams have played. Cleveland, one of the best teams in the state, number 1 currently, although they've lost 2 games in a row now, still ranked number 1, but they're kind of holding on by a thread. They both played Cleveland twice. It was Clovis losing both of those 10-4 and 11-0, so 21-4 difference in those 2 games in favor of Cleveland. Hobbs losing twice with identical scores of 11-1, so we're outscored 22-2 in their 2 ball games. Piedra Vista, who's one of the top teams as well, they're second ranked in the state. Both of these squads get a chance to play them. The team out of Farmington. Clovis lost, shut out 12-0. Hobbs lost in their contest with them 11-1, or 15-1 the final in that game. Los Lunas, who's also one of the top teams in the state of New Mexico, at least they have been for quite a bit of the early season. Los Lunas currently ranked at 8 in the Max Preps poll this week. Clovis lost to them one time, 10-7, but also beat Los Lunas 9-8. Eagles only played them once, losing by 2, 7-5 in that matchup. And one other common opponent between the 2 teams, El Paso Cathedral, and this was a play that Clovis had at the Goddard Southwest Invitational. Clovis beat them 9-1 by 8. Hobbs really trounced El Paso Cathedral 14-3, so 11-run difference there. So once again, there's been a total of 5 games in terms of common opponents for both Clovis and Hobbs against Cleveland, Piedra Vista, Los Lunas, and Cathedral. In those matchups, in terms of the wins and losses. The Clovis Wildcats have picked up 2 wins and had a total of 4 losses in those matchups. Your Hobbs Eagles went 1-4 in those 5 ball games. Right now, both teams are 11-11 on the season, so sitting at 500. This will break it to a +1 in the win column, whoever comes away with the victory in this contest. Last year, there was a couple of games split between the two teams. Hobbs lost on the road to Clovis 6-2. At the end of the third, Clovis is up 3-1 in that game. Into the fourth, they expanded to 5-1, and then each team scored 1 run in the 5th and 6th innings. So basically the 6-2 differential in that ball game. A couple of guys returning from last year. Hernandez, the catcher for the Eagles, he had 2 hits. One of those was a double. Montez had a couple of hits, a RBI double, also scored 2 runs in that game. Luke Parrish had an RBI double. Hobbs only hit .231 in that game. That was the first loss of the 2 games they played last year, again 6-2. Second game, though, here at Sportsman's Park, Hobbs beat Clovis by 1 run, 3-2. Hobbs is actually down 2-0 after the top of the 6th, but the Eagles got 1 run in the bottom of the 6th and 2 runs in the 7th to pull out the 3-2 win. Cole Kester had a couple of hits. Alan Udahara, who will be the starting pitcher today, he had a single in that game, and Montez had an RBI walk. The bases were loaded, and he got to score a run off of that. Eagles batted a little bit better in the second game, 304, and got on base 7 times due to walks, and they out-hit Clovis 7-4. Eagles did have 3 errors in that game defensively, still got the victory, and had 20 men left on base, which is a pretty big number, but still getting a 1-run victory. So far this season, the Clovis Wildcats have lost to Carlsbad 3-1 and 14-13. So pretty close contest so far. And of course, Carlsbad now ranks 6th in the Max Prep poll. They're just 12-10, but they've got the best strength of schedule in the 5A right now at 17.9. So doing pretty well with a lot of games in the competition that they've stacked up against. Currently, the Hobbs Eagles actually dropped a spot this week in the Max Preps poll. They dropped to 11th. Of course, Eagles 11-11 record. But they have the second best strength of schedule in the 5A at 15.4. So hats off to Coach Boyle. A really tough schedule to start it off before they got to district. The Clovis Wildcats 2 spots down from Hobbs. They are 11-11 on the season, and they have the 6th best strength of schedule in the 5A at 13.1. The other team in the district is Roswell, down to number 19. They're under 500 now, 10-11. But their strength of schedule is only single digits, 7.7. That's the reason why they're a lot lower than the rest of the district teams, even though they do have the same district record as the Hobbs Eagles. So it's really good. Eagles getting a chance to play in some of those big tournaments that they did. Had their home host tournament, been on the road quite a few times, went to the Carlsbad Invitational, played Cleveland and Piedra Vista, number 1 and number 2 in the 5A, and a couple of their teams thrown in there as well. So that gets you ready for district action. And it's been a close district the last few years, at least through the second 3 and 4 spots. Carlsbad, again, last year undefeated 6-0, but still, they still have to struggle. They've had some come-from-behind wins this year in their record, which is barely above 500 at 12-10. Eagles coming to this game batting .312 on the season. They're averaging 8 hits a contest so far, 39 doubles, 6 triples, and 17 home runs. Leader in the HRs, Hernandez and Kestner both with 4 apiece. Eagles have picked up 84 walks this season, close to 4 a ball game, and they have a 42% on-base percentage into this 23rd game of the season. We're going to take a quick break as they get the starting lineups going here. Your Hobbs Eagles wearing the black uniforms, gold numbers, and white pants, and the visiting Clovis Wildcats, purple tops, white numbers, and gray pants. We'll be back in 60 seconds, get you the starting lineup here at Sportsman's Park. Hobbs versus Clovis, the arch rival matchup from district. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park. Still announcing the Hobbs Eagles starting lineup defensively, and the Clovis Wildcats will be the first team at the plate. Take a look at your lineup for the infield. First for the Eagles, Cole Kestner at first. At second It'll be Taylor, Jaden Taylor. And at the third spot for the Eagles on the bag, it will be Montez. So those are your first through third baseman. The catcher is Hernandez. Fuentes at shortstop. Left to right, Curtis in the outfield. Phillips at center and Parrish at right. National Anthem starting here at Sportsman's Park. We'll be back in 90 seconds. We're back live here at Sportsman's Park. Hobbs Eagles and the Clovis Wildcats. Second district series. Hobbs playing here at Sportsman's today. And then on Friday in Clovis. Starting pitcher for your Eagles, Alan Udahara. This is his 9th game or appearance on the mound. He's 3-2 on the record at 4.93 ERA. As he'll be ready to go here getting his warm-up pitches. Taking a look at the Clovis Wildcats squad, they have 3 seniors on the team and 8 juniors, kind of reverse of the Eagles. Seniors 9 for Hobbs and 3 juniors. Clovis also adding 4 sophomores to their list. Hobbs with 1 sophomore and 2 freshmen. So top-heavy juniors for Clovis, top-heavy seniors for the Hobbs Eagles. Both teams coming in with an 11-11 record. So it should be a tasty 2-game set for these 2 squads. In terms of the Clovis Wildcats offense, starting off in the top 4 spots, Victor Moreno, the shortstop, Tyler Ashby, the right fielder, Aiden Romero, the DH, and Joseph Hernandez, the left fielder. So getting the warm-ups now is Udahara. We'll have that game on Friday as well, the 1 game. Remember, we are not doing doubleheaders in district, and that gave teams an opportunity to play some more tournaments by chopping off 3 single games and getting rid of the doubleheaders. That gives you 1 tournament extra that you can play in and getting a chance to see some of the top teams around the area, whether it be New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, for example. So that has really helped Eagles in terms of playing teams like Cleveland and Piedra Vista. In fact, getting to host some of these teams down here in those round-robin type format tournaments, not bracket style. We mentioned Cleveland losing the last 2 games on their schedule, too. They still remain in the Max Preps poll at number 1 with a 13.7 strength of schedule. Piedra Vista sticks at number 2 where they were last week. Then it's Rio Rancho 3, La Cueva 4, Centennial 5, and then Carlsbad from our district at number 6. Eagles again at 11 drop a spot this week. Clovis at 13 and Roswell at 19. First at the plate, it'll be Victor Montrose, the shortstop. Takes a curveball inside for the strike as Moreno waits on that one. A little bit drizzly and gray this morning, but it looks like nice bright baseball here with some little bit of cloud cover and blue skies. A little wind about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Curveball inside, a whack down the third baseline. Comes off the glove of Montez and rolls down the third baseline. That's going to be a double. As stretching out to second, having to slide, though, is Moreno. So actually that's an error, though, after the glove of the Eagles' third baseman Montez. Did hit the webbing of his glove and then went down the third baseline. Pretty hard shot, though. So that'll bring second in the order, Tyler Ashby, the right fielder. Moreno at second. We are slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park. Thanks for being with us here on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Internet coverage on 3 spots for free. Udahara looks back at second, couple of times, turns and fires. Fastball clips the outside corner for the strike on Ashby. Ashby's second in the order for the Wildcats. Only team that advanced to the playoffs last year was Carlsbad, so these teams want to make sure that their record's above 500 to be in contention for a spot this year. 0-1 count, fastball, right down the pike for the strike. So Ashby down 0-2 in the count. As he takes a look over to Coach Cruz there on the third baseline in the box. Clovis getting the tough two-game matchup with Carlsbad to start the district schedule last week. Here's the 0-2 pitch down the middle, low, and bounces off the chest protector of Hernandez and keeps it in play a little bit there to make sure that base runner doesn't do too much at second. Able to wrestle it back and give it back to Utahara. Count goes to 1-2. Low pitch on that one. Aiden Romero and Joseph Hernandez, 3 and 4 in the order for the Wildcats, trying to get their second runner on the bases. Curveball at the end of the bat, kind of whacking out short to right field. It's going to take a one-hopper and pull down by Parrish. They're going to save the runner at third, but a bad throw coming in. It's going to bounce into the backstop left side. Will get the runner to advance. So it was a single for Ashby, but the errant throw coming from right field went over the infield, and I'm not sure if it ricocheted or just went out past near the backstop. But that will score the first run of the ball game for Clovis. 1-0 here in the first, no outs. So the first hit of the game as well for Clovis. Again, they had pretty decent matchups with Carlsbad in their two losses, 3-1, 14-13 last week. Combined 27 runs in that second game. Long look back for Utahara at second. Fastball outside, popping up Hernandez there. Make sure that didn't go wild. This is a lefty in Aiden Romero, the DH. Utahara slowing things down just a bit. Fastball down the middle, a little high. Swing and a miss for Romero for the strike. Count even at 1-1. Supposed to get up close to the 80s today here. It's actually getting warmer as the afternoon went along and stayed pretty cooler in the morning hours. Here's the 1-1. Fastball outside, sliding left is Hernandez. Getting himself in good position to pop and throw if he needs to there between second and third. Count to 2-1 now to Romero. He's in for Rodriguez, their starting pitcher for the Wildcats as the DH. Here's the windup of the throw. Curve it inside and brushing back Romero for the ball. Count to 3-1. Also have softball going on. The Hobbs Lady Eagles playing Carlsbad right behind us. So lots of activity here at Sportsman's Park. JV games for both teams. Boys team baseball and softball for the girls. 3-1 pitch on the end of the bat. Going to go right to second. It's scooped up by Taylor. Fires to first. Connects with Kestner on the 4-3 for out number 1. Runner does advance to third. That'll bring up the cleanup man, Joseph Hernandez, the left fielder. So we got two Hernandezes, one behind the plate and one at the plate, swinging the bats. The catcher, of course, for the Eagles is the one behind the plate. Runner at third, one down, 1-0 Clovis. Again, Utahara in his 9th appearance, 3-2 record. Curveball. Say a little bit outside for or a little bit inside for the ump's liking for the ball. Kind of a waffler one there. Took a little wind current across the plate. Urahara spying third. Checking out Ashby. Fires a fastball low, hit hard to short. One-handed by Fuentes. Turns and fires a sidewinder. Gets it over to Kestner for the out. Little fielder's choice look. Let the runner come home. So that's going to bring up the second out for Clovis, although a run did score. Makes it 2-0 here. And that's going to bring up for the Wildcats, Reed Adams, the first baseman, 5th in the order. No runners out now for Clovis. 2 of them have cleared the home plate. Utahara going to throw a curve inside and high for the ball. Both teams trying to break the 500 mark in this one-game affair from Sportsman's Park. Curve action down low for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Adams. Nobody on the bases for the Wildcats. Sun definitely a factor too, right in the eyes of the infield at this point. Sunset about 7:30 tonight. Here's the 2-0. Curve it inside and clips the inside corner. Adams holding on that one, takes the strike. And then Hernandez throws a long shot over to second. Not sure what that was for, as having to track it down is Taylor, the second baseman, and no runners on. Hernandez kind of shaking his head. I don't know if he thought there was a runner on or thought that might have been strike three or something. But it's a 2-1 count now to Adams. Unihart comes back. Fastball, swing and a miss for Adams as he kept that ball outside the left of the plate there. Barely clipped it, but still got the whiff by Adams. Evens up the count at 2-2. Here comes a pitch. Fastball at the end of the bat towards left. Should be enough time to get underneath it. And shifting from right to left to make the catch on the run is Curtis. John Curtis for the Eagles for out number 3. Clovis did manage one hit. Left no on base. 2 runs come across. We head to the bottom of the first. It's the Wildcats 2. Your Hobbs Eagles nothing. But they're coming to the plate next on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you. Good day for baseball, or should say night for baseball. 2-0 game, though. Clovis leads after being up at bat first with a hit. Had a couple of runs come across. And your Hobbs Eagle offense ready to go. .312 batting average on the season. Jaden Taylor will start it off, the second baseman. Jason Fuentes, the shortstop. Hernandez, the catcher. And Cole Kessner, the cleanup man, the first baseman. Eagles, in terms of that double-header situation with Roswell last week, were able to combine on 19 hits, 9 in Game 1, 10 in Game 2, but 5 short of Roswell, who finished up with 24. Roswell batting .353, Eagles at .288. And a couple of guys didn't really get the hits they needed in that second game, although they did hit in the first. They kind of switched it off in the second, and we saw some other guys doing better in the first game. It just depends on the situation. We should mention that first game, the Eagles won 8-5. Was an 8-inning game, 1 extra inning added to that one. And then, of course, the second game was 13-11. Roswell here winning by 2 after the 6 home runs. Of course, Hobbs answered with Montez and Greben putting it over the fence as well for 2 HRs. The Eagles hitting .313 in the second game against Roswell and just .265 in Game 1. Pitching on the mound for Clovis, Zuriel Rodriguez. And here's Taylor now at the plate for Hobbs. Here's the windup in the throw. Fastball high for ball 1. Again, Eagles wearing the black uniforms, gold number trim, and the white pants. Fastball down the middle for the strike. Looks like Eagles have changed their pants in this home game. They had that kind of a lemon-looking stuff there before. This one's just bright white. Here's the 1-1 coming from Hernandez. Curveball, Rodriguez, curveball inside, comes off the handle to the middle of the backstop in foul territory. Hernandez going to chase it down, the catcher for the Eagles, to get it back to the dugout. Fastball outside and high from Rodriguez for ball 2. Count now 2-2. Good eye for Jaden Taylor. Jaden batting .385 this season, one of the better numbers. 6 doubles, taking 7 walks. Fastball outside for the ball. Now 3-2 full count. 44% on base percentage for Taylor. Fastball outside, good eye as he gets the walk to start off. So Jaden Taylor gets a freebie to first base. Taylor with 8 walks on the season. So he is the runner at first, and now Jason Fuentes steps up, the shortstop. Second in the order for the Eagles. Fuentes batting .338. Throw to first, not in time. Getting back quickly is Taylor. So .338 on the season. He's also been able to hit 4 doubles for the Eagles' cause, a triple yet to get a home run yet, but has 11 walks. He is currently second on the team for walks. Fastball outside and low for ball 1. Fuentes gets on base 42% of the time. Few shy of his teammate that's at first. Taylor. Fastball clips the outside corner for the strike. Count evens at 1-1 for Fuentes. Eagles been averaging 8 hits a ball game, although they did better than that in their 2 contests against Roswell. Another throw to first, a little late there for Rodriguez. But making Taylor work a little bit at the base there first. Tying run at the plate here is Fuentes. Fastball at the end of the bat. A wobbler goes over the second baseman's head, leaping for us. Cordova rolls into right center, and that will be a single. And the runner getting advanced all the way to third. That's Taylor. He's effortless going on those bases. Good job for Coach Boyle. Gutsy call there to move him all the way to third. So the single for Fuentes. And now the go-ahead run at the plate will be Jaden Hernandez, the catcher. Jaden batting .379 on the season. Leads the team in RBIs with 25 in a perfect position here with the 2 runners on. 6 doubles and 4 home runs. He is tied with Kestner for the tops of the guys hitting it over the fence. 9 walks so far. Have 50% on base percentage. And a bad stat, he's been hit 6 times, worst on the team in terms of that category. Fastball low, not his fault though, for the ball. Good eye for Hernandez. Count to 1-0 now. Jaden third in the order for the Eagles. Of course, cleanup man Cole Kestner up next. So nice to have 2 guys back-to-back that are tops with the home runs. Fastball off the thick of the bat. High flyer towards the first baseline out in right field. Going to float for a second. One handing it is Ashby. That'll be a sac fly, though. The relay coming in. Going to give a chance to the runner to get to second. And the tag at second is safe. Nope, not there in time on the throw. So the sac fly for Hernandez is going to score Taylor. Eagles get on the board here in the first. 2-1 now. Clovis still up by the 1 run. And now Cole Kestner, the cleanup man, ready to do some damage. Kestner batting .349, second on the team in RBIs with 21. 5 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs. Again, tied with Hernandez there. 45% on base percentage. Runner at second now is Fuentes. Fastball. Low and outside for the ball. Chasing it in front of the plate now is Trujillo, the catcher. Adams at first, Cordova second, Sepulveda at third. Moreno is the shortstop. Trujillo behind the plate, and it's Hernandez, Steven, and Ashby left through right in the outfield. Fastball low and outside. Nice backhand to save it. Trujillo saves it from going wild there. Definitely does not want to see Fuentes head to third for the Eagles. 2-1 score here in the bottom of the first. Curveball inside, going to get through the second-third gap. The shortstop slides over and throws a grounder to first, but that's not going to be time to get the runner. So that's a kind of a distant single there, as it was closer to third than it was second in the gap, and having to shift over to make the play was Moreno, but not in time. So a single for Kestner. 2 hits now for the Eagles, both singles with Fuentes and Kestner. Jackson Souter now the DH. He's 5th in the order. Lefty for the Eagles. Souter batting .146. He has 6 RBIs this season. 2 doubles and a home run. 2-1 ball game. Rodriguez goes to the fastball. A little low in the strike zone, but they get the call at the fist there by the umpire for strike 1. Parrish, Curtis, and Phillips round out the order for the Eagles with 1 out. Runners at first and third for Hobbs. Throw to first. Getting back is Kestner. Eagles trying to tie it up here if Fuentes can get home. Got to be smart on the base pass, though. Don't want to get picked off here. Trying to tie up the ball game. Curve comes inside and holding on it. Good eye for Souter to get the ball call. 1-1 count. Both teams in their second series of district, first game of it. And on the road on Friday for Hobbs. Fastball hit hard towards first, but it's going to be foul. It'll roll down the fence side of the Clovis dugout, bouncing off there. So staying alive with contact is Souter. Steps out of the box, gets himself adjusted. 1-2 count now to Jackson. Another throw to first. Ooh, that one's behind the bag a little bit there. Good save on the dig by Adams, the first baseman for the Wildcats. Of course, no dirt to deal with on those base paths, so a little bit easier to backhand things without causing a big fog in front of your base. Here's the 1-2. Curve it inside. Bounces off the plate. It's going to roll behind. Should be enough time to score, and it is. They get the throw to the pitcher coming to the home plate, Rodriguez, as a trio kind of sidewinded it to him, but Satter able to make that Fuentes able to score off the wild pitch. So both Taylor and Fuentes have come home. We are tied at 2 now here at Sportsman's Park. So Eagles could take a lead here with just 1 down. Two-two ball game. Runner at second. Fastball at the end of the bat, going to go foul over the top of our heads here. So Tristan Montez at the plate. Montez batting .328. He's got 18 RBIs, currently 4th on the team. Fastball outside for the ball. Count is full now, 3-2. Looks like I jumped ahead on the lineup. That's what I did. Tristan before Souter. My apologies there. Fastball low. Into the bat, going to take a bounce to the shortstop. Trying to get down on his knees. Moreno able to keep it down, but that is a hard shot. A single for Montez. So that's 3 hits now for the Eagles. Actually, 3 hits and a walk. And still just a 1 out. Now Jackson Souter will step up. Souter the lefty. 2-2 ball game. Runners at first and third for the Eagles. 3-1 hit count in favor of Hobbs right now. Fastball yanked hard towards first, but goes foul outside the bag. Souter trying to take out some of his coaching staff here. Time called. They had to go chase the ball down in the right field area. Then relay that thing in from Ashby, the right fielder for Clovis. Both teams have scored 2 runs here in the first inning. Slated for 7 at Sportsman's Park. An 0-1 count now to Souter. Continues to wait for the pitch from Rodriguez, taking a lot of time here. Fastball high, the steal on the second. Throw is going to be there, but bobbled, so the steal converted. I bring runners at second and third now. So Montez gets to second off the steal. Eagles knock at the door to try to get a lead here, tied at 2. Looking back at second is Rodriguez. Turns and fires a fastball. Does get a piece of the bat, but drops quickly right at the plate for the foul. Count goes to 1-2. Listening live to HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Exclusive coverage of Hobbs Eagle baseball. Rodriguez checking the pitch calling once. Finally says yes to one of them. Sliding a little left is Trujillo behind the plate. Fastball at the end of the bat. High in the air towards center. Going to be a little bit shallow as the center fielder now shifting left. Makes a one-hand catch. The tag up. And that will send the run home on the sac fly for Souter. And that will score an Eagle run. Coming across, Cole Kessner. Eagles now 3-1, or 3-2, I should say. They take the lead here on their home park. Luke Parrish now the right fielder. Still just 2 outs now with that sac fly. Parrish batting .237. He has 2 RBIs this season. 9 hits, fastball outside, clips the corner for the strike. He's been walked 8 times as well and has a 37% on-base percentage. Runner at second for Hobbs. The fastball, late swing, and coming over the top of it is Parrish for the strike. Count to 0-2 now. He is 7th in the order for the Eagles. Time called as Parrish will step out of the box and adjusting the left glove. Comes back in quickly. Definitely like to get another RBI to his name here. That would make it 3rd of the season for him. Little floater comes down the middle, and Parrish was waiting on it for strike 3. So first K of the game issued by Rodriguez, but the Hobbs Eagles do manage a total of 3 hits. They score 3 runs, leave 1 on base. We'll be back here in the top of the second. 3-2 Hobbs over Clovis. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Sportsman's Park. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 3-2. Eagles getting 3 hits in that bottom of the first inning. Got a walk and a strikeout, left 1 on base. Again, those 3 runs come across for the Eagles offense. They were down 2-0 early with Clovis getting a single from Tyler Ashby. Fielder's choice, an error also on the Hobbs Eagle infield, but those 2 runs did come across to take that lead, but Hobbs got it back in the bottom of the first. Now in the box for the Wildcats. 6th in the order, Sandro Cordova, the second baseman. Sepulveda, Trujillo, and Steven to round out the order for the Wildcats. Alan Udahara with a little sidewinder there for the strike. Holding on it was Cordova. 3-2 ball game here in the top of the second. Quick cycle for the pitch. Fastball off the handle. Middle of the backstop for Cordova on the foul. Wildcats working on their first win in district, 0-2 with the 2 losses to Carlsbad last week. Eagles could go above 500 with the win here, 1-1 currently. Roswell has matchup with Carlsbad this week, tonight and Friday. Curveball inside. Hit hard towards the left side of Coach Cruz in the third coach's box. Foul territory for Cordova. Good contact on that one. Count now 0-2 as Cordova now in a hole. Eagles again split with Clovis last year, 1-1 record. Curveball right in the butt. Cordova tried to spin out of it. He was hit hard in the fleshy part there for the hit by pitch. So I will get a base runner for Clovis. They're tying run at first now as Cordova. Sepulveda now, Conrad Sepulveda, the third baseman, getting his first chance to swing. Well, these numbers are not very well cut out either. The second digit's very cloudy. Don't have any punch outs on those numbers. Don't even think those are legal, actually. Udahara sidewinds it over there to first to Kestner to see if they can get a tag, and not in time, though. So a bunch of throws coming from Rodriguez when the Eagles were at the bat. Lefty is Sepulveda. Udahara turns and fires and gets a nice slider there for the strike on the outside corner. Back in the box goes Sepulveda. 0-1 count. Another throw to first. Just kind of mess with the head of the base runner Cordova a little bit as Kester makes the catch and kind of slides his arm over there and just reminds him he's not going to have an easy chance running to second on a steal. Unihara curving inside. Golf swing right to Kester. Caught and thrown to second. Actually didn't catch it on the bounce. And a throw back to first on the double play. So Kester snagged a couple steps off the base. Kind of turned his back a little bit. Couldn't tell if he was caught or just bouncing off the ground. But he fires that throw over to Taylor at second and right back to him for a double play to pick off the runner that was already there. So Cordova's got to take a walk back to the dugout along with his teammate Sepulveda that hit into the double play. So now we got 2 down already, and Trujillo steps up, the catcher, 8th in the order. Fastball a little low for ball 1. Colton Stephen, the last in the order for Clovis. 1-0 count. The windup of the throw from Utahara. Curve it inside off the handle. Going to bounce right over the third base bag. Ball to second for Montez. Fires it a little late. See what they're going to call this one on the stat side of it. He did bobble a little bit, but he did maintain a hold on the ball that time. They're going to go ahead and give it a hit. A pretty hot shot there by Trujillo. So he will get a single out of that one. That'll be the second hit of the ball game. 1 in each inning now for Clovis, staying alive with the 2 outs. And bring in Colton Stephen, the center fielder now, 9th in the order for the Wildcats. 3-2 ball game, Hobbs by 1. Coach Boyle now wants a discussion with the infield ump. Real quick discussion. It's going to be done before you could even turn around here. So runner at first. And they throw a ball coming in from the dugout here to stop the action. Give it to the umpire. Again, we do have JV game going on for the boys baseball, and then also girls softball has varsity and JV. So lots of fields being used here at Sportsman's Park. Nice day and night for these games. Fastball down the middle from Utahara. Holding on it was Steven for the strike. Go-ahead run is Steven now at the plate. He's got his teammate Trujillo at first. Guy that hit into a double play. Or actually hit a single, I should say. Curveball inside, a bouncer. One hopper to Fuentes. Turns and fires a second. Taylor waiting for it, and that will be out number 3. Routine play there for the Eagles. So Clovis did manage a hit. Leave 1 on base, no runs come across. We head to the bottom of the second. Your Hobbs Eagles want to add to the 3-2 score with the 1-run lead. We'll be back in 60 seconds live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. To the bottom of the second we go. Ty Friend here with you at Sportsman's Park. Your Hobbs Eagles holding on to a 1-run lead, getting a chance to bat for the second time in this ball game. 3-2 score. Eagles so far have managed 3 hits with the singles by Fuentes, Kestner, and Montez. 8th in the order now, John Curtis. One of the lefties, the left fielder. Curtis batting .283. Curve it inside, a high one towards right center. Backpedaling, sliding right is the center fielder. Over the shoulder catch. Almost ran face first into the wall there in front of the American flag. Fly out there. Unfortunately for John Curtis, the man that makes the catch in center was Steven. He did have to shift a little bit there to the right. So that'll be out number 1. Got some good distance on that one, did Curtis. Carson Phillips now the center fielder. 9th in the order for the Eagles. Phillips batting .296. Got 16 hits so far this season. 5 RBIs, a couple of doubles, and a triple. He's been walked 3 times. Takes the fastball. Down the middle. A little high for ball 1. 36% on base percentage. Rodriguez still on the mound for the Wildcats. Fastball is going to be bunted down the first baseline and just barely goes foul before it gets to first. Scooping it up with the glove there for Clovis Adams, the first baseman. Kind of a slow one, too. Could have given just enough time for Phillips to get there if it didn't just barely curve about 3 or 4 steps away from first base. Pretty nicely placed bunt down that first base line for Phillips. Taylor, Fuentes, and Hernandez top of the order. Second time around, upcoming. Fastball low and outside, 4 ball. Evens up the count at 1-1 to Phillips. Again, we'll be with you on Friday at Clovis, 4:45 pregame. First pitch at 5. Here's the 2-1. Fastball right down the pike for the strike. Count even now at 2-2. Phillips trying to be the first base runner for the Eagles here in the bottom of the second, leading by 1. Here's the windup of the throw. Fastball, check swing. The catcher's pointing to first base ump, and now the umpire can also point down there, and they say, nope, he didn't go around enough, so he will get another shot back at the plate. Full count, though, to Phillips. Quick reload for Rodriguez. Turns and fires a fastball, and that's right down the middle for the strike. He thought it was a little low. Looks back to Coach Boyle on the third baseline and to kind of shake his head a little bit. That'll be a strike. Second K of the ball game for the Eagles. And number 2 on the outboard there. Top of the order now, Jaden Taylor, who walked back in the first, did score the first run of the game. Half a sac fly from Jaden Hernandez. Rodriguez not taking a lot of time here. Turns and fires a fastball. Kind of a floater outside for ball 1. One 0 count. Back with another quick pitch. Fastball, a little low for ball 1. Or excuse me, 2-0 count. 2 balls and no strikes to Taylor. Fastball, low shot. Trying to get underneath it was Taylor, and you could hear the clink of the metal, but I think the handle got a piece of it too, and it quickly dove in front of the plate. Count to 2-1 now to Taylor. Fuentes and Hernandez due up. Fastball, and that's going towards the JV field on the right side foul. Looks like it might have hit the media booth behind their stadium side. Press box. Rodriguez takes a deep breath, fires a fastball low. It's going to take a hopper right in front of Coach Boyle in the third base coach's box and roll down the left fence in foul territory. Dugout personnel will take care of that one. Still getting contact was Taylor, trying to straighten it out just a bit. Trying to be the first base runner here in the inning. Fastball, swing and a miss. That'll be strike 3. So the Hobbs Eagles suffer from 2 Ks. Flew out to center, and that's all she wrote. No runners on, no runs come across. Go to the top of the third. It's still 3-2. Eagles with a 1-spot lead here. Come back with us. Clovis at the plate. Your Eagles on D. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back here at Sportsman's Park, Hobbs Eagle Baseball. First game of the 2-gamer here this week. Hobbs playing here at Sportsman's Park against Clovis. Game 2 on Friday. 2 games against each other for the season. Final series, Hobbs will take on Carlsbad. That'll be next week. And then wait to see what the NMAA is going to say about the teams that will make it to the playoffs. Eagles at 1-1 in district. Clovis 0-2. And, of course, Roswell split with the Eagles. They're 1-1. Roswell and Clovis playing today and Friday as well. Top of the order for Clovis, their second time getting there, or second time around their order. Victor Moreno now, the shortstop. He got on due to an error to start the ball game. Again, the Wildcats with a couple of hits, a single apiece by Ashby and Trujillo. Still on the mound for the Eagles, Alan Udahara, his 9th game of the season, 3-2 record. Fastball high for ball 1. Again, Wildcats pretty top-heavy on the JVs or junior side with 8 juniors and 3 seniors. A little bit of a reverse for the Eagles. Curveball right down the middle for the strike. Count to 1-1. Hobbs with 9 seniors, 3 juniors, and Clovis 8 juniors and 3 seniors. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Slide action outside and low for ball 2. 2-1 count now to Moreno. Ashby, one of their 2 hitters so far, coming up next, the right fielder. Curve inside. This is going to be yanked towards the third base line. Just barely hits foul out deep in left field area. Chasing over there for the Eagles, Curtis. He's just happy it didn't stay fair. That would have taken a little while to get in. At least a double would have been converted on that. But instead, it's going to go back on a foul. Count to 2-2 for Moreno. Curtis kind of shifts back to the right a little bit. Kind of expected him to move closer to that third baseline after that yank there for Moreno. You can hear some cheering going on in the varsity softball game. Curveball, and that's going to be a lunge by Moreno. Couldn't get a piece of it. Tried to kind of put that bat out there like a sword and try to knock at it, and it didn't reach pay dirt for him. So a strikeout for Moreno. That'll be the first K of the game issued by Udahara for the Eagles pitching starter. And now it's Tyler Ashby at the plate for the Wildcats with 1 down. The single he got back in the first inning. 3-2 ball game here. Udahara, fastball, swing and a miss, outside corner. Strong swing there for Ashby. No contact, though. Right back in the box he goes, and Udahara ready to wind up and throw again. Curve it inside. A knuckler off the handle is going to go towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout on the left and bounces off the cage. Oh, 2 count now to Ashby. Nobody on the bases for the Wildcats. Fastball, swing and a miss, and that'll be strike 3. Out number 2 for the Eagles. Back-to-back Ks issued by Udahara. And the second of the game as well here in the top of the third. So Clovis not doing themselves any favors now, trying to get some base runners if they can. The lefty, Aiden Romero, steps in. The DH grounded to second to Taylor back in the first. Udahara coming with a little curve and a handle shot to first base. Kester with the stomp, and that is out number 3. 3 up and 3 down. Hobbs Eagle defense taking care of business along with their pitcher Udahara. 2 strikeouts and a ground out for the Wildcats. No hits, nobody on base, nobody scores. Bottom of the third, we're getting through this one quickly as the Eagles lead 3-2 over Clovis. Up to bat next, the Eagles. Stay with us. Back to live action here at Sportsman's Park. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 3-2. They're at the plate now to try to extend their lead. Jason Fuentes, single and a run scored back in the first. They'll check swing on the fastball low for ball 1. Now for a full extension on that one. Eagles with 3 hits so far in this game. 1 walk and 3 Ks. Fastball swing and a miss for Fuentes. That one dropped low as it came across the plate. Eagles 3 hits converted by Fuentes, Kessner, and Montez, all 3 singles. Rodriguez to the fastball high for the ball. Count to 2-1. Run scored by Taylor, Fuentes, and Kessner. Fastball low and outside for ball 3 as Fuentes gets ahead of the count now. Jaden Hernandez in the 3rd slot and Cole Kessner, the cleanup, due up next. Fastball low as it sinks across, and that'll be strike 2. Full count now to Fuentes. Got to protect the plate on this next one. Rodriguez comes back with a fastball coming off the end of the bat, and it'll be foul over the Clovis dugout right side. Bounces towards the JV field, out of play. Good contact there for Fuentes. Like to extend on the 1-run lead. Fastball hit hard towards short. Fielded by Moreno. Turns and fires a dropper. Boy, it comes down low and on the left of the bag, but getting down low on the ground as well was Adams to scoop that thing out and had his back leg extended to the bag, just barely beating the runner, Fuentes. So ground to short will be the out. Number 1. Jaden Hernandez now, 3rd in the order for the Eagles, had a sac fly. He was able to score Taylor back in the 1st inning. Curve action floating across the top of the plate, then take a quick sink there for the strike. Hernandez watching that one. Kind of hard to decide where that ball was going to come through at. Fastball outside for the ball. Count evens up at 1-1. Rodriguez right back up to the rubber. He wants to throw another pitch and will. Fastball, middle of the bat, going to go high in the air. Going to be in the right field. The second baseman calls his right fielder in to come make the catch, and does so, does Ashby on the run. Good communication there from his second baseman Cordova to point quickly to the right fielder to come up on that one. So a fly to right center for Hernandez, unfortunately the out. And now Cole Kessner, the cleanup man, unfortunately can't get an RBI unless he hits it over the fence here. He does have a single and a run back in the 1st inning. Second score for the Eagles. Fastball high and outside for ball 1. Kessner, one of the big sluggers for the Eagles. 4 home runs, 6 triples, 39 doubles, and 21 RBIs, second on the team. Fastball low and outside again, ball 2. So getting ahead of the count now is Kessner. Fastball, same spot, just barely misses outside for ball 3. So big time ahead of this count is Kessner, and he gets a couple of pitches he can burn if he needs to. Rodriguez not taking any time. Fastball, same spot again, low and outside, ball 4. Day at the office for Kessner. Second walk issued to the Eagles by Rodriguez. Tristan Montez now, who singled back in the 1st, also stole a base to second. Again, Eagles with the 3 hits. And so far just 1, or make it 2 for Clovis. 2 singles. Curveball inside to the knees, but holding on it was Montez for the strike. Called by the umpire. Big lead off at first for Kessner. Curveball inside again, same spot, strike 2. That one looked kind of low, but now having to dig out a hole is Montez. An 0-2 count. Eagles with 2 outs. Still lead by the 1 run here in the bottom of the 3rd. Curveball hits the plate. It'll take a wicked bounce. Roll to the right backstop. That will get a advancement for Kessner. Second, he's going to keep running. The catcher is just jogging. Lackadaisically just kind of half walking towards that ball at the backstop, and that gets Kessner on the wheels there. Wait a second. They're sending him back to second. Well, he took a long time to do that. I'm not sure the time was called. He had not collected that ball yet. So Kessner had to go back to second. New batter coming up for the Eagles. That is Souter, who sack flied earlier. That was a walk, by the way, issued to Montez. Curveball inside off the end of the bat. 3D right back at us here. Hits the middle of the netting. 1-1 count now to Souter. Sixth in the order for the Eagles. Parrish due up next. Here's the windup in the throw. Outside curveball. Ball that goes off the bat and takes a dribble behind the side of the third baseline. The catcher jumps up and pirouettes with it. Didn't know what to do. Trujillo got confused. Different people yelling at him there, and that gets the advanced runner. So Eagles will have bases loaded with second and third, and now we got Coach Cruz coming out. Does not want to see the confusion out there. Hobbs up by 1, 3-2. Big discussion on the mound now, and Cruz having a lot more talk to the catcher than he is the pitcher after that miscommunication on the third base path. So I'm not sure they're going to make a switch or not. Doesn't look like the ball's being handed off yet. Doesn't look like they're going to stick with Rodriguez out there. Runners at second and third with 2 outs, and Clovis definitely does not want to give up a run here after seemingly shutting down the Eagles early in this inning, but Hobbs starting to get a regained momentum here. Curveball well outside. Jumping up for it is Trujillo. He knew the runner was going to start to come, and Kestner gets back to third. Count 2-2 now. Souter trying to make some contact here. Fastball outside. Ooh, barely clipped the outside corner. They're going to strike him out. Fans are not liking that one here in Sportsman's Park. That'll be called a strike. And Eagle fans letting them know on that one. That will be the 4th K of the game for Rodriguez. And ends the scoring opportunity for the Eagles, who still lead 3-2. Hobbs didn't get any hits in the bottom of the third. They did get a couple of walks, and those guys in scoring position on second and third, but they leave them both on. No runs come across. Head to the top of the fourth, going quickly here. 3-2, your Eagles by 1 over Clovis. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Close ball game here at Sportsman's Park. Game 1 of the 2 games set this week. Hobbs hosting Clovis in this one at Sportsman. And then on Friday, they'll go to Clovis to take on the Wildcats. 4:45 pregame, first pitch at 5 o'clock here on the Hobbs Eagle Network, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Top of the 4th inning, Clovis at the plate. Trailed by 1 of the Eagles. Joseph Hernandez hit into a fielder's choice back in the first. Takes the first fastball down the middle. Going to call that outside for ball 1. He is the cleanup man for the Wildcats, who trail by 1. Udahara, the pitcher for the Eagles. Curveball inside. This is heading out to left center. It might hit the wall. Takes a bounce against the wall on the warning track. Coming over from center to pick it up is Phillips and sails it in. Back to second to connect with Taylor. Runner getting a double out of that one. That'll be the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Wildcats with a double and 2 singles so far. So 3 hits compared to 3 for the Eagles. They've got 3 singles. And a runner at second out for the Wildcats. Reed Adams now, the 5th in the order. He flew to left for the last out of the first inning as he got it up in the air to Curtis for the Eagle D. No outs here, 3-2, top of the 4th. Udahara takes a few peeks back at second. Curveball outside for the ball. Adams, one of the lefties for the Wildcats. There are hits coming in the 2nd slot, the 4th slot, and the 8th slot. Spread out a little bit. Curveball inside at the end of the bat. High arcing one. It's going to be left center field again. Shifting over to the left fielder, almost the center fielder on that one. That was Curtis coming over. He throws it to third off the bounce. And not quick enough on the tag, getting over there for the Eagles was Montez. Just put a little glove in the back that time. Nice hustle there from left field over to center to make the catch for the Eagles by Curtis. So that will sit Adams down on the fly. One down for the Wildcats. Brings in Sandro Cordova. He is the second baseman who was hit by the ball in the second inning. Clovis with one guy on. That is the guy that hit the double all the way to third now, which is Hernandez. They go ahead and make a throw to second to see if the runner did touch that second bag as Udahara chucked it over to Taylor and just checked to see if they could get a stomp and an out number 2 there, but the runner is going to be kept at third. So the appeal was overturned. Here's the windup of the throw. Fastball down the middle. Off the side of the bat goes to the backstop. Foul for Cordova. He is sixth in the order for the Wildcats. All the runs coming in the first inning, 3-2 in favor of the Eagles. But Clovis knocking at the door with the runner at third. Curveball off the handle, going to bounce on the third base line. Runner is coming. The throw to home, the tag. They're going to say safe. So fielder's choice, and they give the runner the advantage on that one as Hernandez comes in hard. Beating over the top of him is Hernandez, the other Hernandez for the Eagles, the catcher, and trying to put the glove right on his back. But they're going to say he was closer to the bag and made the tag on the home plate there for the run. We'll tie it up at 3. 3-3 ball game here in the top of the fourth. Clovis coming back in this one. Runner at first. Off the fielder's choice was Cordova. Now Conrad Sepulveda, the third baseman, ground to second to Taylor earlier on. Throw to first, and diving back to the first bag is Cordova. So Hernandez was the one that scored. 2 runs in the first, 1 run here in the fourth for the Wildcats. Udahara comes to the curveball, low and outside for ball 1, and kind of cradling it in his chest protector there was Hernandez, making a decision if he needed to throw or not, and decided to hold on to it. Definitely like to pick off that base runner. Udahara taking a little bit more time now. Turns and fires. Curveball inside at the end of the bat. It'll be sliced out to center and roll. Will be a single. Runner advancing to third as well. So a single converted by Sepulveda. Clovis starting to get the bat connections here. That is their 4th hit of the ball game. 1 more than the Eagles. So runners at first and third after the single from Sepulveda. Now Trujillo, he had one of the singles as well back in the second inning. 8th in the order for the Wildcats. Go ahead run at third is Cordova. Sepulveda at first. Udahara turns, fires, curve it inside. A little lazy swing there. It's going to take a long air, though. Back to the center field wall. Bounces off the big monster. That's going to be at least a double, RBI double. They got a big man running to third, but he's going to take his time and slide in. Did get a throw to third, but that will be an RBI double, though, for Trujillo. Now, if they had a quicker base run, they might have gotten 2 runs in there. But the runner put on the brakes at third. So that's going to score another run, which will bring in Cordova. And the score now goes to 4-3. As Clovis takes a 1-run lead. Runners at second and third. At the plate, Colton Stephen, the center fielder. Fastball gets loose from Hernandez's glove, the catcher. He's able to scoop and chase. Comes in front of the home plate. So 4-3 your score here in the top of the fourth. 2 runs that come across from Clovis with runners at second and third. Steven ground us short on his last at bat to Fuentes. Fastball barely hits the bottom of the strike zone for the strike. As he held on that one, count goes to 1-1. Force out at at 1. That would just be the second out, though, for the Eagles here, the defense. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Udahar. Curveball inside. Swing and a miss for Steven. That'll be his second strike. 1-2 count now. Eagles down by the 1 run. Of course, Carlsbad and Clovis going at it last week. 14-13 was the score of the second game, won by the Cavemen. 27 runs scored in that one. Close one in the first one, 2-3-1 in favor of Carlsbad. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Curve it inside. Hits the home plate. Sliding in front is Hernandez to keep it from going wild. This is game 1 of the 2-game series this week. Next week will be 2 against Carlsbad to wrap up the regular season. 6 games total. Doubles against each of their opponents. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Udahara facing Steven. Curveball off the handle, going to roll down the third base line, wait for the signal from the ump. I think they're going to go out fair on that one. Going to be a double, scoring 1 run. Long delay to get it in, 2-run score, 2 RBI double. He's trying to track it down in left field. Was Curtis, was a roller. So Steven gets 2 runs that come across. That will be Sepulveda and Trujillo. And now 6-3. In favor of the Clovis Wildcats on the road here at Sportsman's Park. Runner at second after the double for Steven, the 2 RBI double. Top of the order now, third time as we get going down the lineup. Victor Moreno, the shortstop, got on due to an error and a strikeout. Now the infield meeting for the Hobbs Eagles. Don't see a coach out there, so it's maybe a catcher called meeting of the minds. Actually, is Coach Boyle out there? No, he's not. So now the umpire not going to waste much time here. If coach is not out, we need to break up the player committee. Still just 1 out. 4 runs that come across for the Wildcats for Clovis. 6-3 score. 7-3 hit count now in favor of the purple and gray. Stevens remains at second. Udahara takes a peek back at second. Couple of times, turns, fires, curveball, right down the middle for the strike. Ashby, Romero, and Hernandez due up next. Ashby with a single and Hernandez with a double so far. Curveball, Udahara, it's a low one, dropped behind the plate, but picked up quickly by Hernandez. No harm done there. Count goes to 1-1 to Moreno. Udahara taking a little bit more time here, making sure he gets the pitch that he wants. The call from Hernandez. Fastball coming off the handle and barehanded by Coach Cruz there at the third base coach's box. Took a bounce and yanked it out of the air. Chucks it back to his pitcher, Rodriguez. Eagles down by 3, 6-3 here in the top of the 4th. The windup of the throw, Udahara bouncing it off the ground on the shoulder, left shoulder of Hernandez. He throws it to third. The runner's going to get there in time, though. And now he'll be knocking at the door. Good job using his body there was Hernandez. Kind of threw his shoulder at the ball so it wouldn't go wild to the left backstop out of play or foul territory. Actually, not a foul, but a wild pitch. And saved the opportunity for that runner to come home to add on to the 3-run lead. 2-2 count now to Moreno. Udahara comes, curveball off the handle, through the gap out to left field. It'll take a roll, scooped up by Curtis, and an RBI single converted by Moreno now. So lots of runs coming across for Clovis in this 4th inning. That's their 5th. 5 runs, 7 total, 7-3 score, 8-3 hit count now. I think there might be a little bit of movement in the bullpen here for Hobbs. We'll have to wait and see. I see a couple players going to that area, but who knows? Could be somebody that's in the game as well. Fastball down the middle. It's fouled off to the left side of the netting, behind home plate. Coach Boyle going to jog out of the dugout to retrieve the ball for the umpire. No balls and a strike to Ashby, who had a single and struck out, 1 for 2 at the plate. Showing bunt, steals on at second, a throw to second. And that's going to get a little bit past the second baseman, Taylor, trying to put his arm out to reach for that one. And backing him up was Fuentes, the shortstop, and able to snag that one. Runner there in time, though, the steal converted. That's Moreno at second now. 7-3 score, 4-run lead for the Wildcats. Both teams at 11-11 on the season. 0-2 coming from Utahara. Fastball off the handle, this time over the middle of the backstop, out of play, over the press box here. Contact made, so staying alive is Ashby now facing 0-2. Takes a look at his dugout on the right side. Getting a call from one of his coaches there. Utahara watches Moreno for a second. At second, curveball, low and inside for ball one. 1-2 count now to Ashby. Big pitch coming from Utahara. Little stutter step and comes off the rubber on the mound and going to reset himself here. Eagles working on their second win in district, and this would be the first for Clovis. Curveball high. Just barely misses the strike zone for the ball. Count evens up at 2-2 now. Romero third slot, and fourth to clean up Joseph Hernandez. Still just one out for the Eagle defense. And Utahara going to with the fastball outside. That'll be a ball. Oh no, they called the clip of the corner. That's a strike. Little delay on that by the ump there. Clear the board against Ashby, his second K in a row. The third K issued by Utahara in this game. 2 of those by Ashby. The third by Moreno. Aiden Romero now up. He grounded to second to Taylor and then over to first to Kestner for his first 2 at-bats. He's one of the lefties. So just needs to get one over to Montez. The hat trick there. Curveball clips the outside corner for Utahara for the strike. Moreno kind of back to the right side of the plate, backed away from the plate, and the ball just kind of floated to that left corner. The 0-1 comes, curving inside, and hard shot towards the Clovis dugout on the right. Bounces off the side fence and rolls back to the first baseline in right field, and going to have to chase it down is Luke Parrish. The umpire does not want any errant balls staying near that third baseline. 2 contacts for Romero here, and he's facing an 0-2 count. Actually, first was a strike call. 0-2. Runner at second is Moreno. Utahara, curveball outside, down knee height, and knocking it down is Hernandez, left of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Romero. Hobbs Lady Eagles playing right behind us. They've got Carlsbad tonight. I believe that's a doubleheader, though. Here's the windup of the throw. Curve outside. Barely misses the outside corner for ball 2. Evens up the count. Clovis, Hobbs, and Roswell and failed to make the tournament last year, state tournament. All had 2-4 records in district. Fastball down the middle, low, swing and a miss. Going to be a third strike call, but they're going to go ahead and throw it down to first regardless. It might have had a little deflection there. And great throw for Hernandez. Sails it to Kestner at first, jumps up, pulls it down, and that is out number 3. Strikeout by Romero. So the Clovis Wildcats managing to get 4 or make it 5 hits in the top of the 4th. As they're able to put through 5 runs. They leave 1 on base, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's Clovis 7, your Hobbs Eagles 3. Come back with us in 60 seconds. Your Eagles at the plate. Your Hobbs Eagles at bat now here in the bottom of the fourth, trailing 7-3 after a 5-run add-on for Clovis, top of the fourth. Fastball high off the pitch from Rodriguez. He's the starter for the Wildcats, giving up a total of 3 hits so far, all singles, Fuentes, Kestner, and Montez. Parrish at the plate, takes the fastball low and outside for the ball. 2-0 count now to Luke Parrish. He struck out for the last out of the first inning. Trying to get something going, get some base runners for the Eagles. Fastball, swing and a miss. Actually got a piece of it, I believe, and it drops in front of behind the plate. It might have got the catcher. He is hunched over now on his knees. I'll take a few seconds here to get him recovered. Coach Cruz coming out from the dugout now to check on his catcher. Trying to see, we look like he might have got him in the throat. Oh, actually, no, the inner right thigh. Well, we won't go into much detail after that, but not the spot you want to get outside the cup there. 2-1 count here in the bottom of the fourth. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing 7-3. Clovis with 2 runs in the first, 5 in the fourth. Hobbs, all their runs coming in the first. They got the 3 there. Eagles with 3 hits, 3 walks. They've left 3 on base and were struck out 4 times so far, 1 error defensively. Trainer from the Eagles come over to check on that catcher as well. He's going to stay in the ball game. That is Trujillo. Looks like we're ready for more live ball. Actually going to go ahead and take some few practice pitches with the catcher, see if he's able to do his job effectively. Haven't seen that happen very often. Sometimes the pitcher will get some extra throws for whatever reason, but this is for the catcher's benefit. He takes about 2 pitches. That's all he needs, and we're ready for the action. So Luke Parrish now with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Again, the Eagles had 4 Ks. He does not want another one here. Want to be on the bases for the Eagles. Trailing by 4. Here comes the windup from Rodriguez. Fastball outside for the ball. Count goes to 3-1 now. Getting ahead is Parrish. Parrish has 8 walks this season. Curveball inside. Little late swing and ahead towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout left in foul territory. Jumping out of the dugout there to pull that one down was Kestner. A little bit of magic as he was trying to figure out who to throw that ball to. Full count coming on the pitch. Curve inside. This one hard towards left, but it's going to take a wicked curve and go out foul. On the wheels from left field for the Wildcats was Hernandez, just not getting there in time. That was about halfway foul before he crossed the third base line deep in left field. Hopefully Parrish can straighten that out just a bit. Fastball, a little late swing, and that'll go to the right side foul towards the JV side. Bouncing over there near the bullpen area behind the Clovis dugout. Count goes full now to Parrish. Takes a fastball out to left field. A hard shot going towards the wall. Takes a bounce off the wall. Scooped up by Hernandez, and that'll be a double for Luke Parrish. Eagles pick up their 4th hit of the ball game. Parrish pretty happy about that one out there at second. One of his Yanks over there to left went foul, but that one definitely you knew was going to take a bounce. He's going to run his batting gloves into Coach Boyle in the coach's box third base line. So Eagles have no outs. Trail by 4 here in the bottom of the 4th after 5 runs scored for Clovis. Lefty John Curtis in now, flew to center field. Out to Stevens earlier in this game. That was back in the 2nd. Fastball outside for ball 1. Carson Phillips will be 9th in the order for the Eagles next. Then to the top of the order, 3rd time going through the roster. Rodriguez turns, curveball inside, hard shot down the first baseline, just foul. Little right of the first bag there. I'm sure Adams pretty happy that the ball took that little curve because that would have been a hard one to handle. Stepped a little late there to the first baseline. Count to 1-1 now. Curve it inside off the end of the bat. That should drop. In center, takes a one-hopper. Advance the runner to third. They're going to hold the runners, as Coach Boyle. So Curtis with a single behind the double of Parrish. Runners at first and third now for the Eagles. And Carson Phillips going to step up. Did strike out in the second inning. Phillips has 5 RBIs this season. Does have a guy at third ready to score, which is Parrish after his double. Runner at first and third, nobody at second. Rodriguez turns and fires a hard throw over to first. Pulled down by Kestner. Runner back in time is Curtis. Hobbs coming in 11th on the Max Preps poll. Clovis at number 13, 2 spots behind. Bunt opportunity right back to the pitcher. Rodriguez scoops and throws to first and gets it over to Adams on the 1-3 for out number 1. Fielder's choice there. So Phillips will have to take a seat back in the dugout. Top of the order, Jaden Taylor, his third at bat. Walked back in the first with a run scored. And in the second, struck out for the last out. Quick 3 up, 3 down in the second for Hobbs. Runners at second and third, still 7-3 ball game. Rodriguez looks back at second, checks runners, fastball outside, and little glove movement there by Trujillo to see if the ump might bite on that one. Barely missing the outside corner. Quickly refiring Rodriguez, fastball, about the same spot for ball 2 outside. 2-0 count now to Taylor, the top of the order for the Eagles. Fuentes up next in the second slot. He has a single so far. Fastball, third pitch right there. This time a little bit further in for the strike as Taylor watched it a second. Count goes to 2-1. 1 down for the Eagles, down by 4. Fastball, a little low in that same spot. He keeps putting it in that area in the back right corner of the home plate. Count to 3-1 now. Taylor can burn a pitch if he needs to. There it goes again. Back right corner, outside, ball 4. 2 walks picked up by Taylor in this game. That's the 4th walk that the Eagles have had as a team. Jason Fuentes, the shortstop, now on the plate. Single and a run back in the first. Ground to short in the third. Takes a look over to Coach Boyle to get some call here with a bases-loaded situation for Fuentes. Rodriguez goes with a fastball. Just low of the strike zone for the ball. Fuentes with 14 RBIs this season. He's 6th on the team in that category. Also has 11 walks too, which is the second best. Walk would be an RBI with the bases loaded. Fastball low, 2-0 count now. Rodriguez with the fastball again off the end of the bat, out towards right field. This should drop. It does down the first base line out and right. RBI single, and maybe 2 RBIs. They send both runners home on that one. So 2 score for the Eagles. That'll be Parrish and Curtis. So the 2 RBI single for Fuentes. As Eagles get 2 runs. So 5-2 is what the run production has been in this 4th inning. So far, Hobbs has just 1 out. Score now 7-5. 2 runs shy of the Wildcats. Fastball down the middle for the strike. That's Jaden Hernandez. He sack flied in the first inning and flew to right center in his second at bat. 0-1 pitch. Fastball low and outside for ball 1. Count to 1-1. Runners at first and third for the Eagles. The tying run at first. Fastball hits the plate. Gets caught between the legs of Trujillo, the catcher, and that gets enough time for the runner to get to second. That'll be Taylor. Or correction, Fuentes gets a steal. Fastball inside off the bat. It's going to go behind the backstop out of play over towards the softball field, who also have a game going on. The Hobbs Lady Eagle varsity taking on Carlsbad. Couple JV games, too, for both baseball and softball. 2-2 count now to Jaden Hernandez. Wide up in the throw, Rodriguez, fastball. Almost took off the brim of his batting helmet. Count to full, 3-2. Jaden leads the team with 25 RBIs, so definitely a guy you want to have in this position. With runners at second, third, curveball inside, over the shortstop's head, rolls out left center. Moreno tried to get up for it. That's going to be RBI single for Hernandez. Got to think there's going to be a timeout pretty quickly for Clovis. That'll be the third run scoring for Hobbs here in the fourth. It's now 7-6. And there comes Coach Cruz. I think this is going to be a pull here for Rodriguez. He's already been in once this game for the timeout, and I don't think he's going to survive this second timeout. 7-6, Eagles down by one, still just one out. They've scored three. We'll come back in 60 seconds to see what the prognosis of the starting pitcher is for the Wildcats. Second long timeout taken by Coach Cruz in this game. Has not relieved his pitcher even once. So it's 7-6. 3 runs have scored for Hobbs, although Clovis started off this fourth inning with 5. 1-run lead. Curve inside. It'll be a high shot towards right. And it's going to be shallow. The first baseman backpedals. Second baseman comes over to make the catch behind first. That's Cordova. Throws to third anyway. And boy, the third baseman not quite ready for that hard one. Sepulveda able to juggle it on the third base line to make sure it didn't go towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout and get another run to advance. So the fly that was Kessner. He flew out behind first, but caught by the second baseman, Cordova. That'll be out number 2 for the Eagles. Runner still at first and third, down by 1. Montez got a single and a walk. He's been on twice. Boy, a hard zinger towards the right foul, right next to make that Clovis's dugout. So a single and a walk for Montez so far. Trying to get this game tied up. Time called as he steps out of the box. Clovis 2 runs in the first, 5 in the fourth. Hobbs 3 in the first, 3 here in the fourth. With 2 down here in the bottom. 7-6 your score. One of these teams will be 12-11 after this game tonight. Here's the 0-1. Curve it inside. That's going to go down the first baseline and roll into the corner of the right field. Bounces off the wall. That'll be a double. 1 run scores, and they're going to chug another one home, too. They're going to fake the throw home, and 2 runs come across. 2 RBI double for Montez. And more runs coming across for the Eagles. They put 5 on the board to match the production for Clovis in this inning. So 5 runs have come across. And the double converted by Montez. Eagles down with an 8-7 lead. That's going to bring in Souter. Souter had a sac fly and struck out. Trying to add on the 1-run lead for the Eagles. Curveball inside, late swing off the handle. It's going to roll out to the Clovis dugout on the right. So they kept Rodriguez in after 2 coaches' timeouts. I doubt we're going to see him coming back in the 5th, though. Here's the 0-2. Little floater comes just high of the strike zone for ball 1. Montez eager to get home from second here with a 1-run lead. Rodriguez spies back at second, turns and fires a fastball at the end of the bat, takes a bounce at the first baseman. He gets off the base, flicks it back to his pitcher who covers first, and that was Rodriguez. Gets to stomp the base just ahead of Souter for out number 3. But the Hobbs Eagles able to get back in this ball game As they get a lot of people involved with the hitting, it was 3 hits, Fuentes, Hernandez, and then it was Montez for the 2 RBI double. Hobbs getting 5 runs to come across and take an 8-7 lead. They do leave 1 on base, but they got the 1-run lead as we head to the top of the 5th. Clovis at the plate. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Top of the 5th inning. We still got a close one here at Sportsman's Park. 8-7 Hobbs after 5 runs. They take that 1-run lead. Clovis at the plate. Joseph Hernandez, he is the cleanup man. Fielder's choice and a double. Did score a run after the double. Udahara, the pitcher for the Eagles. Little slider look outside for ball 1. Adams, Cordova, and Sepulveda. 5 through 7 in the order. 2 up next. Fastball misses outside for ball 2. Sun going behind the clouds here. Sunset around 7:30 here tonight, so we got about an hour before that happens. But if the clouds continue to cover the sun, they might be getting these lights on quicker than we think. Winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. 2-0 count. Pitch from Udahara. Fastball comes down the third baseline. Good backhand for Montez. Fires a high one, though, over his first baseman, Kessner. That's going to sail to the far right wall. And we have to be chased down by Parrish. A runner going all the way to third. And a throw back to third is barehanded by for the Eagles by Montez to save that one from going to the Hobbs Eagle dugout from right to left of the field. So all the way to third. So the error registered on that one. So the tying run at third, Hernandez. That's going to be the second error for the Hobbs Eagle defense. Reed Adams now, 5th in the order. He flew to left center. Curveball inside, going to foul out towards the left side of the Hobbs Eagle dugout, towards the softball fields and the restrooms. Actually hit the concession stand roof. Hear it wall up against the metal roof. Reed Adams, again, 2 flyouts so far. Still on the left side, so that's a warning to Curtis out there, and possibly Phillips at center. Here comes Udahara. Curveball outside, ball 1. 1-1 count to Adams. Cordova and Sepulveda next in the order. Sepulveda had a single earlier. 7 hits so far for Clovis. Curve it inside. And boy, standing stout was Adams, but didn't flinch much. But the pitch was there for the strike call. And the count now 1-2. Hobbs holding on to a 1-run lead, but there's a runner at third. That's Hernandez. Udahara comes to the curve inside high this time. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike 3 for Adams. 4th, make it 5th K of the game for Udahara on the mound for the Eagles at out 1 for Clovis. Sandro Cordova now hit by a pitch and got on to a fielder's choice. He did score after that. 1 down for the Eagle D. Takes a long look to Coach Cruz there at the third coach's box, but he was talking to his runner, so Cordova didn't get much help at the plate. Tying run again at third. Udahara stares him down. That's Hernandez. Fastball, swing and a miss for Cordova. Little spin around there for Sandro Cordova, the second baseman. Back at it on Friday again in Clovis. 4:45 pregame, 5 o'clock start time on that one. Here's the 0-1 from Utahara. Curving inside off the handle, going to go in the gap, out to left field, right near third base, and rolls into Curtis out and left. So it'll be a single converted by Cordova. His first hit of the ball game. 8 hits now for Clovis. Big kid Conrad Sepulveda, the third baseman, will come in now. He grounded a second to Taylor and also had a single, scored a run as well after that on-base situation. All run did score, I should mention, too. Off Cordova's single just now. We're tied at 8. This one's going to be hit high in the air to left. A one-hand pull down by Curtis, the left fielder for the Eagles, on the fly out for Sepulveda to left. So that'll be out number 2. Tie game 8-8 here at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you. Exclusive coverage on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. 8th in the order, Trujillo, the catcher. He's perfect, 2 for 2. A single, an RBI double, and a run scored. So he's perfect so far at the plate. Don't want him to break the tie here, though. Ball hits the plate on a fastball. That will send the runner. So Cordova gets the second. That's the go-ahead run for the Wildcats if he can come around. But there are 2 outs. Colton Stevens, who was last in the order, he's due next. But he also has a 2 RBI double to his name. Looking back at second is Utahara. Turns and fires a curveball. Comes and hits the bottom of the strike zone. Got a movement up and down there that time for an 0-1 count. Big leadoff at second for Cordova. Fastball flinched by Trujillo. Did not come around on it. Count goes to 1-2 on the ball. One ball and 2 strikes. Utahara. Fastball, swing, no swing, I should say. It's this hold on it for Trujillo. Not a good decision. His third at bat, not going to get a hit this time with the strikeout. That's 6 delivered by Utahara, the K's. And that'll be it for Clovis. They do get an RBI single, so 1 hit. They get 1 run to come across, 1 runner left on base. Your score, 8-8. We are tied. Heading to the bottom of the 5th. We're slated for 7 here at Sportsman's Park. Live coverage on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Also looks like a new pitcher warming up for the Wildcats. The Clovis Wildcats have a relief pitcher on the field here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll be Zeke Jenkins. The final numbers on Rodriguez. He gave up 8 hits to the Eagles, 4 walks, struck out 4. So Zeke Jenkins will be the second pitcher for Clovis in this one with an 8-8 tie. Of course, they gave up 5 runs back in the 4th inning. That was the last hurrah for Rodriguez. Didn't think he would see him back in this inning, and that is correct. Parrish will be in now for the Eagles at the plate. He is 1 for 2, got a strikeout to start it in the 1st inning, and then got a double and a run scored in the 3rd inning. We'll make it the 4th. The Eagles definitely need some runners in action here to try to break this 8-8 tie. Parrish is 7th in the order. Curtis has got himself a single. He's 8th. And then Phillips will round it out for the 4th time for the Eagles at the plate. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Sportsman's Park. Once again, that is Jenkins, the relief pitcher. Fastball. This is heading out towards right center. It will take a bounce up against the wall. Will be a double. Take a little bit of time for reaction by Stevens. And just jogging into second is Parrish. So back-to-back doubles for Luke Parrish. Getting the extended hits. Parrish now with a total of 2 doubles this season. That were his first 2 of the season here against Clovis. It's a good way to crank it up for the Eagles. John Curtis now 8th in the order. He's 1 of 2, flew to center and had a single and a run scored. The lefty side of the plate for the Eagles. Jenkins with a curveball off the end of the bat. It's going to go high into the infield. The shortstop calls everybody off. That's Moreno and makes the catch. Coming in towards the green part of the infield. So that'll be the fly out for Curtis. And now it's going to be bottom of the order, Carson Phillips. Phillips struck out and had a fielder's choice. So trying to get himself on base, courtesy of a hit here. Phillips with 5 RBIs this season. Definitely could use one here to break the 8-all tie. 1 out for the Eagles. Curveball comes beneath the knees for an inside as well for ball 1. Lead off for Parrish at second. Jenkins fires it. Ooh, it hits the helmet of Phillips on the left side ear. And I think that might have got, I don't know if it hit just the helmet or it came underneath a little bit. He's going to have to bend over here and kneel down to the turf. So he was hit by the pitch. We'll take a quick break. Trainer's coming out to look at him. So Carson Phillips hit by a pitch. We'll be back here at Sportsman's Park, tied at 8. Back live here at Sportsman's Park. Carson Phillips is being hit by a pitch on the right side of his helmet near the ear, and he's going to stay in the ball game, so he's going to grit it out for the Eagles. He'll take a sprint down the first base line. That's the 4th time he's been hit by a pitch this season. Kind of stretching himself out at first base now. Eagles get their second base runner now after the double by Parrish, who's at second. Top of the order now, Jaden Taylor, 4th time at the plate. He's been on 2 out of 3 times with walks and a run scored. Takes the first fastball down the middle. It's heading out to right center field towards the fence. It'll bounce off in front of the American flag, and they're going to try to chuck it in from Stevens. That'll be a double. So a run will score. That's Parrish. RBI double by Jaden Taylor. So Parrish will score. Eagles will take the lead here at the bottom of the 5th. Be 9-8. Both teams have scored 1 run here in the 5th. Hobbs is just 1 out, though. And runners at second and third, so good situation for Hobbs. Jason Fuentes now, 2 of 3 from the plate. He's got a couple of singles. The second one was a 2 RBI single. Scored a run after that, also a stolen base. Scored a run after his first single, too, in the first inning. Takes a fastball low for ball 1. Fuentes second in the order for the Eagles. Curveball inside, golf swing, going to go towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout and slide down the left fence. Looks like there's some work going on in the Eagle bullpen right now. Of course, Eagles on the offensive side of the coin at this point. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jenkins, who relieves for Clovis. The windup in the throw, curve it inside, knuckler off the handle. Going to get in the gap, run out to left field. That'll be an RBI single to just let 1 runner come through. And that'll be Phillips that scores. So he gets the run. RBI single for Fuentes. 11 hits for the Eagles now. Jaden Hernandez now at the plate. Still just one out. Runners at first and third. And he got that RBI single earlier with the run. Also had a sac fly and a fly to right center. 10-8 score. Eagles by 2. Jenkins looks at first and third to check his runners. Turns and fires to first. Slide left of the plate, or the bag there. Kind of a dangerous throw, but it's pulled down by Adams. Jenkins still staring over there at first base. Taking some time now. Waggling the bat, waiting is Hernandez. Fastball high for ball 1. Eagles getting 3 runs in the first, 5 in the fourth, and 2 here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 more innings to go here at Sportsman's Park, up 10-8. Taking leads in the 4th and the 5th inning. Fastball, this is cranked out towards left. This is going over the fence near the light post. It is gone, hits the trees out there, and that's going to be a 3 RBI homer. Converting is Hernandez. 3 RBIs, including himself on that one. That'll make it 13-8. Eagles going to meet him at the home plate. Big time hit for Jaden Hernandez. Hernandez is going to get himself his 5th homer of the season. He is the leader now. Kessler has 4, and that will be a total. Double check here the numbers on that. It should be number 8, I believe. No, I'm sorry, not 8. 18 home runs on the season for the Hobbs Eagles after that one by Jaden Hernandez. 13-8, 5-run lead for the Eagles, and now another timeout as the infield going to come in to talk to the relief pitcher, Zeke Jenkins. And here comes Coach Cruz. He's taking the ball away from him that quick. Third pitcher now for the purple and gray and white. Looked like you might have thrown it in the glove of the third baseman, Sepulveda. I believe that's who it is. We'll see what's going to happen here with the warm-ups. Hobbs up 13-8, 5 runs in the 4th and now the 5th. Still just 1 down. Back with us with Hobbs Eagle Baseball on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back here at Sportsman's Park, Sepulveda will be the new pitcher for Clovis after he's the second relief, third pitcher on the mound. Fastball going outside for ball 1. Cole Kessler at the plate, the cleanup man for the Eagles. Single and a run, walk, flew to second. 4th time at bat, fastball low for ball 2. Good eye for Kessler. Again, the 3 RBI homer from Jaden Hernandez, his 5th of the season to be the leader in that category now. Wide up at the throw, fastball. This is going to head towards right field. And back near the warning track, and a diving attempt coming in for Ashby. I think he got his glove down just in time, right on top of the turf there to make the catch. So the fly out to Ashby, kind of flattened his body out just when he needed to get the fly out on Kestner. That'll be out number 2. A lot of damage been done already, though. Eagles have scored 5 runs to take a 5-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 innings remaining after this. That brings in Montez, the lefty. Curveball inside off the handle. It's a wobbler. Going to bounce in front of the second baseman. A couple of bounces. I don't think he got it in time. No, he didn't. He makes a throw and connects over to Adams at first. But wait a little bit on that one. A single converted. So that's perfect for Montez. He's 3 for 3, a pair of singles. A 2 RBI double, and a walk. He's been on base all 4 times. Great game for Montez. And now it's Souter up. Souter's had a sac fly, strikeout, and ground to first. Eagles got a runner at first after the single from Montez. Trying to add on to a 5-run lead here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 down. Curveball Sepulveda right down the middle for the strike. Both teams 11-11 this season. Eagles ranked 11th. Clovis at 13th. Hobbs at the second best strength of schedule in the state in the 5A behind Carlsbad. Here's the 0-1 pitch off the end of the bat curve. It's going to go out to the softball field behind us for 0-2 count now for Souter. Montez remains a runner at first. Pretty much going to have to go on any contact here with the 2 outs. Faking the throw to first. Sepulveda screaming at his first baseman there. Kind of getting in the head of Montez. Fastball comes down low, hits the bottom of the strike zone. That's going to be strike 3. Hobbs fans not liking that one. So that'll be out number 3. Eagles, though, with some big hitting. 3 hits, make it 4. As they get a couple of singles, an RBI double, and a home run. They get 5 across the plate. They leave 1 on, and they take a 13-8 lead to the top of the 6th. Your Eagles up by 5 over Clovis. Come back with us in 60 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Looks like Alan Udahara wants to go to the distance in this one. Still on the mound for the Eagles as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Sweet Caroline on the intercom here at Sportsman's Park. Your Eagles up 13-8 over Clovis. Both teams at 11-11 on the season. At the plate for the Wildcats, Trujillo, the catcher. Actually, I think they might have subbed him out. Well, actually, this is Stevens, the last in the order for the Wildcats. He's 0-1 for 2, grounded short, and a 2 RBI double. So he's 9th in the order. This is the 3rd time through the roster. Fastball high for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Stevens. Moreno, Ashby, and Romero up next. Moreno and Ashby both with a single in 3 at-bats. Udahara with the 2-0 pitch. Fastball high for ball 3. Udahara has not given up a walk in this game yet, as he rubs the ball there and adjusts his head, and right back up to the rubber. Stevens got a little bit of size on him, too. Little slider action down the middle for the strike. Only one of 3 seniors on the team. Again, they have 8 junior players on the roster. Eagles on the other side of it, they are 9 seniors and 3 juniors. Curveball inside, takes a roll to short, backhanding it, and throwing hard his foot test, and it ricochets off the glove of the Eagles' Kestner. Sun definitely in his eyes over there. And this bounces in and out. He tried to extend the glove out towards the throw. And they're going to go out with a single on that one, converted by Stevens. So he's 2 for 3 at the plate now. That'll be the 10th hit for the Wildcats. Top of the order, going to the 4th time through the roster now, Victor Moreno. Air, strikeout, and RBI with our single RBI. 13-8, Eagles by 5. No outs here. Clovis at the plate. We're in the 6th inning, slated for 7. Uehara taking a little time, getting a deep breath, turns and fires a fastball right down the pike for the strike. Eagles with 2 innings, big, 5 in the 4th, 5 in the 5th. So 10 of their 13 runs in those 2 innings. Uehara takes a peek back at first, turns and fires a fastball off the handle, going to go high in the air towards right shallow. Running up underneath it and making the catch is Parrish. And he throws it back into his second baseman. Looked like he was going to wing it to first, but kind of a little fake on that one. So fly out to Parrish. So Moreno will take a seat. Second in the order now, Tyler Ashby. He's 1 for 3. Did start out with a single, but had 2 Ks after that. 2 of the 6 Ks that Uehara's gotten against the Wildcats. Runner at first once again is Stevens, gone due to a single. Fastball, swing and a miss. A lot of mustard on that pitch. Ashby wants to have that one back. Roswell and Carlsbad going at it tonight. They will also be on Friday. The same time the Eagles will be in Clovis. 5 o'clock first pitch. Here comes the 0-1 from Uehara. Fastball, hard part, middle of the bat. It's going out to left center, and it might be hitting over the fence there. It is gone. A 2 RBI home run for Tyler Ashby. So the 5-run lead shrinks to 3, 13-10 now. Clovis fans a little vocal here tonight at Sportsman's Park, but want to see their team get back in this contest. Again, they played Carlsbad very close, losing by 2. Kind of coincidentally, that was 13-11 final. This one 13-10 now. That'll bring in Adon Romero. He's 3rd in the order. He's 0 for 3, though. Ground to second, ground to first, and struck out. Eleventh hit of the game for Clovis. Curveball. This is going to right center. And it's going to bounce the warning track and the wall. That should be at least a double, as putting on the wheels is Romero. Finally getting it in is Parrish. Sidewinds it over to second base. So a double for Romero. Back-to-back hits for Clovis. And that'll get Coach Bowman, the pitching coach for the Eagles, out there to try to settle things down. Uehara, the starter in this one, and has been in through 5 1/3 so far. But 2 runs that come across for Clovis, 13-10. And we will take a break to see what's going to happen on the mound. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs up by 3. Back to live action here at Sportsman's Park. Uehara is the man. He's going to stay in there on the mound here in the 5th inning. Actually, sorry, top of the 6th inning. 2 runs that come across for Clovis. 13-10, though, Hobbs by 3. 13-12 in the hit game as well. 1 more for the Eagles, 13-12 for Clovis. Joseph Hernandez now at the plate. Uehara with the curveball. Almost hit him, but it curves in just in time as Hernandez gets away from it. He's got a double and a run. Also got on due to a fielder's choice and an error. So he's been on base all 3 times. One of those the conventional hit way, though. Runner at second for the Wildcats. Unihar with the curveball, and just barely clips the inside corner for the strike. 1-1 count now to Hernandez, who's the cleanup man. Reed Adams and Sandro Cordova next up in the order. Unihar with the curveball, and the boy almost got the neck of Hernandez. Of course, the Eagles have been hit by a pitch earlier. Phillips got it hit on the right side of his batting helmet near the ear. 2-1 count now to Hernandez. Unihar looks back at second. Checking on Ramiro. Curveball inside. This is heading out to left center. I take a one bouncer. Center fielder coming over Phillips right to left. He's going to chuck it into second, but that'll be enough time for the runner to score. RBI single by Hernandez. And it's 13-11 now. 3 runs that come in now for Clovis. Their scoring is 2 in the first, 5 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and now 3 in the sixth. 13-11, 13 hits apiece now, 26 total with these 2 teams. And it seems to be just kind of stacking up the way it was last year. A lot of games might be splitting. Somebody needs to pick off Cardinals bad, like this Clovis team almost did last week. Curveball inside from Unihara by the ankles for the ball. Good save for Hernandez behind the plate. Definitely don't want anything wild at this point to get Clovis in position to try to tie it up. Tying run is at home. The lefty curveball inside. And this is going to be Adams sending it hard to the right, but it curves out of into foul territory, hits off the sidewall, and no chance for a play by the Eagle defenders. 1-1 count now to Adams. Flew out, and struck out. Both the flyouts to left. Curtis had to make some hard work of those. Unihara now at the 1-1. Lots of control of the curve, and it stays outside. Wish he had a string on that one to pull it back, but he can't do that. So now 2-1 count. Hernandez getting a little bit anxious there at first. Their lead off for the Wildcats. Unihara comes back. Fastball out towards center. Going towards the big wall. And you got to be kidding me. That got over the big wall. Not too happy as Phillips out there. Kind of threw his fist in the air, the center fielder. I can't even believe that had the height to get over that thing. So that's going to be a 2-run shot, 2 RBI homer for Adams. So big time hitting going on now. 2 HRs in this 6th inning. And now Coach Boyle will make the walk himself. He's the one that makes the final decision on the substitutions. It looks like we will have a relief pitcher in here now. So they try to get Unihara to go the distance in this one, but unfortunately now tied at 13. 14 hits now for the Wildcats. And we're going to have a little delay here, see what he's going to do. Looks like Unihara will leave here. He pitched 5 1/3 innings. Gave up 14 hits and 13 runs. Valiant effort for him, and new pitcher going to come in for the Eagles. And it looks like we're going to be bringing aboard Hendrick Sullivan, the senior. So he's out there. By the way, it's a breast cancer awareness game here as well. You can see the pink sleeves of the Hobbs Eagles. We'll take a break. 13 all here in the top of the 6th. 5 runs that come across for Clovis. Eagles are going to try to shut them down here with Hendrick Sullivan on the mound. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Baseball on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hendrick Sullivan in relief for your Eagles as he takes the place of Udahara. Sullivan with a 1-1 record, a 3.00 ERA, his sixth game of the season. He does have one save. We are tied at 13 here in the top of the sixth, slated for 7. A couple of home runs coming in this sixth inning for Clovis. That's Ashby and Adams. 2 RBI for Adams and also the same for Ashby. Curveball comes down the middle for the strike. Sullivan returns, curve inside. This is out to left field. A one-hopper and pulled down by Curtis. So that'll be a single for Cordova. He's got 2 singles in this ball game. And now that will be the 15th hit for the Clovis Wildcats. Both these teams 2-4 last season, tied with Roswell with the same record. They all split with each other. Carlsbad ended up being 6-0, went on to the playoffs. Were upset in the first round of that playoff. I believe that was Siebel that won 2-1 in the best of 3. Sepulveda now in now. He's the relief pitcher that came in for Clovis. One single, ground to second, flew to left field, and a run scored. One down. Sullivan comes with a fastball outside, swing and a miss, and losing his balance. A little Sepulveda kind of stumbled backward on the right side of the plate. He is a lefty. Runner at first after the single for Cordova. Sullivan with the fastball, swing and a miss, outside again for Sepulveda. No contact on that one, goes to an 0-2 count. He is 7th in the order for the Purple squad. Sullivan taking the call he needs on the pitch for Hernandez, the catcher for the Eagles. Sullivan says no to a couple of those calls, and now he likes what he sees. Takes a peek over at Cordova. Turns and fires. Fastball at the end of the bat, going towards left field in the corner. Is it going to stay fair? Maybe a chance to catch it. Getting to the line, third baseline is Phillips deep in the left corner. Or actually, correction, Curtis out there, the left fielder. So a fly out for Sepulveda. That's the second time he's hit out in that area. So Curtis getting a little bit of work out there. The wind's starting to blow towards the left as well. That'll be out number 2. And that's going to be bringing Trujillo to the plate. He's the catcher. He is 2 for 3, a single, RBI double, a run scored, and then struck out in his third at bat. Still tied at 13 with 2 down. Fastball high, jumping up behind the plate is Hernandez. Thought about maybe throwing somebody out on the bases. Definitely don't want to do a wild throw to that first to advance these runners. It's a tie ball game right now. Stevens last in the order. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Sullivan, the 1-0 pitch, comes inside, over the top of it on the swing and a miss for Trujillo. Hobbs fans are applauding that pitch. Hobbs at 1-1 with the split with Roswell last week, and Clovis 0-2, losing 2 close ones to Carlsbad. Sullivan turns, fastball. Ooh, hard yank on that one. Hits the sidewall on the left, foul territory. Bounce in front of near the Hobbs Eagle dugout. Well, that sprung back into the left field too. Bouncing off a trampoline that time. Count goes to 1-2. They're going to call for the ball to get changed out. That thing hit the wall pretty hard, so umpire wants to make sure that hasn't been scuffed up too much. 1-2 count to Trujillo. This is the 4th time through the order, with Trujillo and Stevens being the last in this order here. Fastball outside and come up underneath of it and strike it out will be Trujillo. 2 Ks in a row, and the first K issued by the relief pitcher for the Hobbs Eagles, as Sullivan getting the job done on that. So 5 runs do come across for the Clovis Wildcats on 5 hits. 2 of those home runs. They leave 1 on base. And again, 5 runs scored. Tied at 13, bottom of the 6th. Eagle bats trying to break the tie. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We've moved into the 7 o'clock hour here at Sportsman's Park. The lights have come on here. The Eagles hosting the Clovis Wildcats, the first game of the two-game set this week. Hobbs will be in Clovis on Friday to take on the Wildcats on the road, 4:45 pregame. First pitch at 5 o'clock, and, of course, we will be there at HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Again, 13-13 your score. Clovis leading with 2 hits, 15-13 right now, but the Eagles at the bat. Next to last inning of this game, although we are tied, so it could go extra. Of course, the Eagles winning that game 8-5 against Roswell, first game of their series last week in 1 extra inning. Parrish up for the Eagles. A couple of doubles and a strikeout. He's also scored a couple of runs, too. Curveball comes up near the brim height for the ball inside. Lead pitcher with a fastball coming off the handle. That's going to go foul towards the JV field right. Sepulveda's the third pitcher. It started with Rodriguez, went to Jenkins, and then Sepulveda. He was moved from the infield. Hobbs with Udahara and Sullivan on the mound. Fastball outside for ball. 1-1 count. And Parrish, both of his hits been multiple bases, doubles. Curtis 8th in the order, and then Phillips to round it out for the 4th time. Fastball, just shy of the outside corner. It was a little low, actually. Count goes to 2-1. Eagles with 13 hits in this ball game. Curve inside, Knuckler. That's going to go right over the backstop. Keeping contact on it is Parrish. Curtis 1 for 3. And Phillips, his last one, a dangerous pitch towards his helmet to make contact as well. Here's a 2-2. Fastball, late swing. That's going through second base out to right field on the ground. A single for Luke Parrish. That makes him 3 for 4 at the plate in this one. That's working good for him. And now John Curtis will check in. Curtis got a single and a run, flew to center and flew to short. Still tied at 13. 29 total hits in this game, 15 for Clovis, 14 now for your Eagles. Eagles with the go-ahead run at first, thanks to Parrish getting on with that single. Sepulveda throws it outside with the fastball, showing bunt. Then a quick throw down the first base line from Trujillo as Curtis, don't think he made contact with that one. They're going to say he went around though, so that will be a strike. 0-1 count now to Curtis, 8th in the order. Taking a long time now, Sepulveda fakes the throw to first, jumps off the rubber. Keeps taking a look back over to Parrish at first. Fastball, but it's a sinker, drops low. Bounces off the knees of the catcher Trujillo into playable zone there, but runner stays where he needs to. That's Parrish at first. Clovis with 2 innings of 5-run ball, 4th and 6th. Curveball inside, down the first baseline, hits the baseman. That's Adams. That should stay fair, and the official's going to call it off. Oh, no, Coach Boyle not going to be a happy camper. Wow. First base coach trying to come out there. It looked like it was inside the bag, plus the first baseman threw his glove at it, not threw it, but lunged out at it and made contact too, and he called it dead. And the Hobbs fans are not happy about that. The infield umpire is trying to get everybody back to their bases now. They're going to send back to first Curtis. And the runner, who is all the way to third, Parrish, is going to have to run across the field back to first. Kind of looked like the ball was inside of the first bag, but you saw the first baseman over there. That was Adams kind of slamming his glove at the ball, so I'm not sure if they're thinking that or the umpire thinking that might have caused it to be foul. I'm not sure, but Coach Boyle started to come out and then returns to the box and catching his breath there. Back in Curtis, the lefty. Counts at 1-2 now. No outs for the Eagles. Fastball hits low. Saved underneath by Trujillo, the catcher. Definitely didn't want to go that through his legs and go wild. That would have advanced Parrish to second. 2-2 count now. Sepulveda is just going to stop and look to first. Curveball high and outside. Going to be a steal attempt for Parrish. Throws late, right of the bag. Shortstop had to come over to make the play, Moreno, but that will be a steal for Parrish. So that gets him to second. Good shape for the Eagles with no outs here. Counts 3-1 now to Curtis, well ahead of the count. Parrish takes the lead off at second as well. Waggling the bat behind that left ear is Curtis, waiting for the pitch. And here it comes. Fastball, a little late swing. That's going to get some air underneath. That should be in foul territory. Left field, going foul, but backpedaling to make the catch. The left fielder getting over there. That's Hernandez. That'll be a fly out for Curtis. Thought the wind might take that a little bit harder to the left, but it stays up high enough for the outfielder to get there. Carson Phillips now checking in, fourth time in the ball game, ninth in the order for the Eagles. Strikeout, fielder's choice, and hit by a pitch. One out for the Eagles. Runner at second. Parrish had to stay on that one. Could have tagged and went, but the catch was made near the third baseline and actually stepping out of foul territory, so that would have been an easy throw down the line. A bunt right back to the pitcher. He has to turn, spin, and throw. A 180 throw. Is it there in time? No, it isn't. That'll be a single by Phillips, his first hit of the ball game. Makes it 14, or make it 15 hits now for the Eagles, tying up Clovis in that category, but we're still tied on the scoreboard with the runs, 13 all. One down for the Eagles in terms of outs. Top of the order for the fifth time, Jaden Taylor. He's been on 3 of 4 times, an RBI double and 2 walks on the plus side. Fastball, sinker comes down the bottom of the strike zone. Boy, that tanked real low. They'll call the strike, 0-1 count. Runners at first and second for the Eagles. Fastball, late swing for Taylor for the strike. Count to 0-2. Runners at first and second, open base at third. Hobbs tied at 13. Bottom of the 6th, we do have one more full inning left unless we need more. Curveball almost hit the helmet of Taylor. Lost control that one on the pitch from Sepulveda. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Taylor. Curveball inside, gonna get some air toward the right first baseline. It's in foul territory and diving for it, but missing it off the end of the glove was Adams. Boy, he put a valiant effort out there. Chasing it to the side wall, about halfway back in right field, but in foul territory. Kind of sprawled out and just kind of flopped his glove out in front of him to see if he could possibly catch it in the webbing, but I think he might have taken a mouthful of field turf as well. That's going to keep alive Taylor, though. 1-2 count, 1 out. Taylor with 17 RBIs this season, currently 4th on the team. He's got 2 runners right in front of him here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sepulveda looks back at second, turns, fires, fastball high for ball 2, evens up the count 2-2. Fuentes, who's had a great night so far, he's 3 of 4. He's due up next in the second slot. And then, of course, Jaden Hernandez, who hit a 3 RBI home run and an RBI single, too. Third slot. Ooh, almost hit the helmet of Taylor. Wild pitch. Runners advance second and third now. Just barely missing the top of Taylor's helmet. So pitches have been kind of crazy in some circumstances here tonight. Coach Boyle had some words for Taylor. Wants to make sure to keep that ball away from the runners here. Don't want some easy tags or double play action. Love to have him poke that out in right field, away from the action on the left side of the infield. Full count now to Jaden Taylor. Fastball off the handle is going to come over the top of the backstop. Still alive is Taylor, making contact. Coach Boyle showing him to follow through on that swing a little bit. Try to get that thing out in the outfield somewhere and give time for those runners to come home to break the tie. Bottom of the 6th inning with 1 down. Runners at second and third. Sepulveda Fastball high, and that'll be ball 4. A walk, third walk given to Taylor in this game. That's the 5th walk for the Hobbs Eagles as a group. Runners on all bases now. Tasty situation for Jason Fuentes. He is 3 for 4. Single and a run, 2 RBI single, run and a steal, and then a RBI single. So 3 out of 4 times he's been on base. And he just needs a single here to get somebody to score to get it to 14. Sepulveda fastball off the into the bat. It's going to go in right field. Takes a roll. That'll be at least 1 run. Make it 2 runs. 2 RBI single. They get the relay in, and that will be the break of the tie. That kid's been definitely converting the scores for the Eagles. Getting a run from Parrish and Phillips. Eagles put 2 on the board. 5 runs been scored by Clovis in this 6, 2 for the Eagles, but now Hobbs up 15-13 as they tack on 2 more off the 2 RBI single from Jason Fuentes, who has got 4 of 5 in terms of batting in this one, the 16th hit for the Eagles. 15-13 your score. Third in the order, Jaden Hernandez, 2 for 3 right now. He's got a RBI single and a 3 RBI home run, plus a couple of runs. Curveball inside, hard sinker out to left field. It's going to get to the left fielder. He's got to scoop it and throw. That's Hernandez. And a single, RBI single there for Jaden Hernandez. Make it 16-13. 29 runs in this ball game. Coming across the plate that time was Jaden Taylor. Timeout called. Here we go. Clovis going to talk again. They've already had 3 pitchers in there. Will be number 4. Coach Cruz going to talk. See if he rips the ball out of the hand of his. Yep, ball's going to be handed over. So we're going to have a new relief pitcher coming in. We'll take a break. There are Hobbs Eagles 16, Clovis 13 here at Sportsman's Park back in 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Clovis Wildcats making a switch at pitcher. Aiden Romero comes in. He is one of their 8 juniors on the team, plays first base, outfield, and pitcher. But this is the first time inserted into this ball game on the mound. This will be the 4th pitcher in the ball game. Rodriguez, Jenkins, Sepulveda, and Romero. Clovis pitching's given up 17 hits in this game. Eagles, of course, had a couple of home runs from Ashby, or excuse me, let me get on the right roster here. Jaden Hernandez, one of the guys that put it over the fence. And, of course, that was a big one because it was 3 RBIs for Jaden. That was his 5th home run of the season. That's the only homer for the Eagles, but they had a bunch of other big hits. 2 RBI single from Fuentes. Got a couple of those 2 RBI singles in this ball game. We'll name a few more here in just a minute. But, again, 4th pitcher coming in for this Wildcats team. 16-13. Eagles with 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th with 1 inning after this. 1 out still. And Cole Kestner comes in, the cleanup man. He's got a single to start the game with the run. Curveball, swing and a miss for Kestner. Actually, yeah, it is a strike call there. He has walked as well. He's been on base twice. Oh, 1 pitch coming. Curveball outside for the ball. Evens up the count at 1-1. 16-13, Eagles by 3. 17-15 in the hit count. 2 head in that category. Here's the windup in the throw from Romero. Fastball down low. Gets loose for a second. Scooping it up is Trujillo, the catcher. Runner's going to stay at first and second. Fuentes at second and Hernandez at first. Fuentes with a 2 RBI single and an RBI single for Hernandez. Curveball inside, and this is going to go back deep towards right field. Bouncing off the wall. Overrunning it was Stevens, and that's going to score at least 2 runs on the double. And so both runners get across. Boy, the Eagles really starting to unload the bats here. 2 RBI double for Kestner, going to score Hernandez and Fuentes. And now it's 18-13. Definitely want to keep adding this run total here to make Clovis have to really dig for that top of the 7th. They'll get a chance to have one more at bat to try to at least tie it to keep the game moving. So 18-13 your score, 5-run lead. Curveball inside coming for the Eagles, Montez. Montez a single, a walk, 2 RBI double, run scored and a single. 3 for 3 at the plate and been on all 4 times with that walk added on. Curveball inside off the handle. Got some air underneath this one towards left foul towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout. And they try to chase it down. Diving for it was Rodriguez. He was the starting pitcher now playing third base, and he tried to gallop the best he could and kind of fell forward as he went towards the side fence near the Hobbs Eagle dugout. No chance to catch that one. 0-2 count now for Montez. Still just that 1 out. Runner at second for the Eagles, that's Kestner. Curveball, hard shot towards left field. Is this one gone? It's going to go hit the trees for the HR. 2 RBI homer for Montez. That'll bring home Kestner, who's also a home run hitter, and Montez himself. Big time hitting for the Hobbs Eagles. That'll be the 3rd homer of the season and number 19 for the team. Hobbs now 20-13. Touchdown lead over Clovis. They've got 7 runs, the most of any team here in this game, here in the 6th inning. And that, again, that's the 4th pitcher on the mound, Aiden Romero for the Wildcats. Satter will come in now, the lefty for the Eagles. Takes the first pitch low on the ball, on the fastball. Satter sack fly, struck out twice, and ground to first, so he's due for a hit. Curveball inside, check swing. I don't think he went around on it. I'm going to say inside for ball 2. Of course, he is the DH in this game. Nobody on the bases, but the Eagles with a 7-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Clovis will get one more at bat in the 7th. Fastball. Whoa, that was going to be a walloper, but it just goes foul on the first base line out in right field. I think Ashby's crossing himself out there. He was hoping that wasn't going to drop and roll inside there. That would have probably taken a few minutes to get the ball relayed in. That would have been at least a double for Souter. Count to 1-1 now. Parrish, Curtis, and Phillips, 7 through 9 in the order. Big night for Parrish, too. 3 for 4, a couple of doubles and a single. Curveball clips the inside corner. You could tell that Souter would love to have swung the bat on that one. It just kind of radared in and kind of moved up and down as it came towards the plate. 1-2 pitch coming here from Romero. Fastball low, and it's sunk quick. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike 3 for Souter. 2 down now for the Eagles, who lead by 7. 7th in the order, Luke Parrish. We mentioned he was 3 for 4. Started the game with a strikeout for the first out of the first inning, but after that, a double and a run, double and a run again, and a single, stolen base, and a run. So 3 out of 4 times he's been on. Curveball inside off the handle to short. Moreno turns and fires, but it hits the turf and then rolls under the glove of the first baseman. That should be a throwing error. I'm going to see if they're going to go ahead and give him a hit on that, too. Pretty hard shot. No, they're going to keep the air on that one. So Parrish will get on regardless. Get another base runner for the Eagles. Still 2 down with a 7-run lead. John Curtis stepping in now. 1 for 4. He had a single and a run, but after that, quite a bit of flies, foul outs. Center field, Shortstop fly and a left field fly. Definitely does not want to get another one of those. Curveball. Clicks inside corner for the strike. Curtis 8th in the order. Phillips will round it out for the Eagles. He has a single to his name as well. So does Curtis. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curve outside, and flinching just a bit was Curtis. Thought he might want to come across the plate with the bat there, but would have had to extend it pretty far out. Good eye there, 1-1 count with 2 down. Still at first, waiting for the chance to advance is Parrish. Curveball inside, golf swing, going to go foul outside the third baseline and take a roll. Rodriguez thought about backhanding it, but realized that thing was not in play. Let it go into the Hobbs Eagle dugout side of the field to left. Softball still going on behind us. Hobbs Eagles taking on Carlsbad. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Romero. Fastball. That's going to be a bouncer to the second baseman. Cordoba turns and fires and connects with Adams for out number 3. So the ground out to second. But that will end this 6th inning. But the Hobbs Eagles converting on 4 hits, couple of singles, a double, and a 2 RBI homer from Montez as they bring across 7 hits. They leave one on, and we go 20-13 to the top of the 7th. Clovis has to get at least 7 runs to keep this game moving. If not, it'll be a victory for the Eagles to go 2-1 in district. We'll take a 60-second break, come back with the 7th inning live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Clovis Wildcats need 7 runs to tie. And they get more than that. The Eagles will get another shot to get to bat as well here. Final inning at Sportsman's Park unless we go extra. Of course, the Eagles had to go extra to beat Roswell 8-5 in game 1 of their double game setup last week. Wildcats at the plate. Into the order, Colton Stevens, a center fielder, 2 for 3. Fastball coming from Hendrick Sullivan. Outside for ball 1. 2 RBI double and a single for Stevens. He had a ground to short in his first at-bat. Fastball down the middle, holding on it is Stevens for the strike. They'll go to the top of the order after this for the 5th time. Moreno, Ashby, and Romero. Here's the 1-1. Low pitch, it sinks, and kind of coming across for just a second was Steven. Pulled the bat back, and they get the strike call. Count to 1-2. Moreno with the single. Ashby has a homer and a single and a double by Romero. So all 3 of them have at least 1 hit at the top of the order. Here's the 1-2. Fastball outside. Barely misses the corner for ball 2. Very close that time. Stevens does have some size. He's got to be about 6'1" or so out there. He is the center fielder. He had to chase back. He was not a happy camper when one went over the wall. Fastball outside and a little flinch there by Stevens. Good save for Henderson. Or Hernandez, excuse me, for the catcher for the Eagles. Full count now to Stevens. 20-13, your Eagles here in the top of the 7th. 7-run lead. 2 innings of 5-run ball in the 5th and 6th. Fastball down the middle. That'll be strike 3, and Stevens was shaking his head. He knew that was not going to be to his advantage there, not swinging the bat. He will sit down. 7th K of the game issued by the Hobbs Eagle pitchers. They've had a couple out there, Udahara and Sullivan. Top of the order now for the Wildcats, Victor Moreno. He's 1 of 4, air, strikeout, RBI single, and flew to right. 1 down here at Sportsman's Park. Eagles by 7. Sullivan, fastball. Miss outside for ball one. Eagles 11-11 on the season, same as Clovis. That would break a 500 record, and also a win would be 2-1 in district. Here's a 1-0, fastball. Hits off the handle, going towards left, and it's going to have time to get underneath it. Jogging underneath for the catch, one-handed by Curtis for the out in left corner field. So a fly out there for Clovis, for Moreno. And that's bringing Ashby to the plate. 2 down now. Tyler Ashby, 2 for 4, a single, 2 RBI homer in his last at bat and 2 Ks. Curveball inside. This comes off the handle on the hollow part. It's going to hit down the first base line, deep in the left field. Having to chase it to the side was Curtis. That will be held up as a single, though, as Curtis does get it in quickly to second base to stop the runner from advancing. Good, nice, hard throw there for Curtis. So not much damage done there. Good night for Ashby, though. He's 3 for 5 now. That'll be 15 hits for Clovis, 19 for the Eagles. Brings up Aiden Romero. He's 1 for 4. Curveball inside, swing and a miss for Romero. Ground to second, ground to first, strikeout, and did get a double in his 4th at bat. But he's down to 1 out left in this ball game. Romero 3rd in the order for the Wildcats. Sullivan comes back, fastball outside off the end of the bat. Going to sail to the shortstop. He's got a backpedal. Fuentes, and does get it on the run. Sprinting backwards. Fly to short. And the game is over thanks to the catch by Fuentes. Your Hobbs Eagles winning this one 20-13 at Sportsman's Park. Eagles get improved to 12-11, dropping Clovis to 11-12 overall. Eagles now 2-1 in district, and Clovis 0 for 3, but a very good team regardless. We'll take a break as your Eagles win by 7 here at Sportsman's Park. Be with us in 3 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back at Sportsman's Park, the Hobbs Eagle postgame show as your Eagles victorious over Clovis 20-13. Your Eagles now 2-1 in district and 12-11 overall. So +1 above the 500 mark in both of the records. Very important here as the district continues to move along. One more game against the Clovis Wildcats on Friday in Clovis. And then next week, a couple of games against Carlsbad. That will finish out the regular season. Let's look at the numbers in this one. First of all, for the Wildcats, they did have a couple of guys with multiple hits, including Tyler Ashby. He went 3 for 5. He had a 2 RBI homer, a single, and a single. So 3 hits there, and also scored a run for the Wildcats. With 2 hits was Joseph Hernandez. Hernandez went 2 for 4. He had a double and a RBI single. Also got on due to a fielder's choice and an error. Sandro Cordova went 2 for 3 with an RBI single and another single in his last 2 at-bats. It was Trujillo, the catcher, 2 for 4 with a single, an RBI double, and a run scored. And Colton Stevens went 2 for 4, 2 RBI double, and a single. Aiden Romero finished 1 for 5 with a double in the game. Reed Adams went 1 for 4 with a 2 RBI home run. And Conrad Sepulveda went 1 for 4 with a single. They also scored a run as well. But 2 home runs converted for this Clovis team in the loss. Tyler Ashby, a 2 RBI homer, and Reed Adams, a 2 RBI homer. So regardless of the loss here, they did manage, Clovis did, 15 hits in this game. They struck out 8, hit by a pitch once, and had those 2 home runs. So pretty good offensive numbers despite losing by 7 to the Hobbs Eagles, 20-13. And boy, what a great finish for Hobbs in this game. Looking at the Eagles' numbers, boy, big night for Jason Fuentes. He was 4 for 5 from the plate. He finished up with 4 singles out of those 5 at-bats, and also managed on one of those singles getting 2 RBIs and a single RBI on another, and then 2 RBIs on his last one. So he gets also a total of 3 runs and 4 RBIs in the ball game. So great job for Jason Fuentes in that second slot for the Hobbs Eagles. Other guys in multiples too. We should have to mention Montez. Big time for him. 4 for 4 at the plate. He had a single, another single, 2 RBI double, and then the 2 RBI home run. So the only other time at the bat was the walk, and that unfortunately, that doesn't count as an at-bat, so he's not 5 for 5. 4 for 4 plus the walk. He was on base all 5 times in the ball game. Great job for Montez in this game. Another guy with multiple hits, Luke Parrish went 3 for 5. He had a couple of doubles, scored runs after both of those, and a single, and a run scored and a stolen base as well. So 3 for 5 at the plate for Luke Parrish. It was also in this ball game 2 for 4 with the numbers for Cole Kestner. Kestner got himself a single and a run and then a 2 RBI double, then scored after that one as well. John Curtis went 1 for 5. He had a single and a run scored. And Carson Phillips finished 1 for 3 with a single and a couple of runs. He was also hit by a pitch, which got him into home plate eventually after that one. He stayed in the game after getting hit right in the helmet on the right ear. I don't even know if it completely got the helmet, but it looked like it actually went underneath the helmet. They had to check him out for a few minutes before he decided to stay in. And Jaden Taylor, not a big hitting night for him, although a nice RBI double, but most of his time on base was walks. He had 3 walks in the game, went 1 of 2, so on base a total of 4 times. And again, walks mean base runners, and that's why the Eagles managed to put 20 points or 20 runs on the board tonight, winning 20-13. Eagles finished with 19 hits in the game. They did walk 5 times, only struck out 5 times as well. So lots of good numbers for the Eagles. They'd have 2 defensive errors in the game, but that didn't hurt them enough to after the win by 7. And Hobbs did manage that 1 home run in the game for Jaden Hernandez. So exciting contest for the Hobbs Eagles. They had a couple of innings of 5 runs each, both in the 5th and the 6th. So 10 of their total 20 runs, half of their offensive production in those final 2 chances at bat did not have to come in the 7th because their defense shut down the Wildcats to get the win. 2013, the final. Once again, Eagles 12-11 and 2-1 in district. Clovis drops to 11-12 and 0-3 in district. Now Clovis will be home on Friday. They'll host the Hobbs Eagles. Pre-game will be at 4:45. First pitch at 5 o'clock. We'll have that game for you. Also going on tonight, we should mention Roswell and Carlsbad do not have a score in their first game of their 2-game series. They will also play on Friday. Hope you enjoyed the game tonight as your Hobbs Eagles are victorious. We should also mention, forgot about the pitchers. Alan Udahara was the starter, and Hendrick Sullivan came in relief. And for Clovis, it was Zariel Rodriguez, Zeke Jenkins, Sepulveda, and Romero. So 4 pitchers, just 2 for the Eagles to get the win. We will see you on Friday at 4:45 for the pregame show. I'd like to thank Evie and also Tiffany Stuber back at the station for giving us all the technical backup. And again, Hobbs Eagle Baseball, always for you live and free at HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. I'm Ty Friend saying good night from Sportsman's Park.